You don't get this stuff from Howard Stern Show. You don't get this stuff from anything but Renegade Radio.
Need a tow? Then call John Lutz Towing Service. 3 radio dispatch trucks, including a unique flatbed to pick up low-profile vehicles. And a road service truck with flat tires, dead battery, out of gas, will be there in a flash if you're stranded. John Lutz specializes in custom towing, low-profile cars, and long-distance towing. Fully insured, low rates, damage-free towing. Call John Lutz Towing Service. We don't want an arm and a leg, just your tow.
Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Diane says Executive Properties did a roof project and remodeled a bathroom in our house. We were happy with their quality of work, and the projects were completed in a timely manner. We will use Executive Properties for our next home project. Get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Tickets are just $10. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult, and veterans are free. If you want to get your car or bike or whatever into the show, call Scott at 406-899-5247 or Timothy at 701-739-1605. Our friends from the north, we're talking about you too. This is going to be an awesome show with over $90,000 worth of prizes. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks.
Like a lone wolf lost in a city maze, trying to find my way home. This land of plenty feels so cold, my dreams are slipping away. A simple man in an impossible place, just needing a break today. Lost among the faceless crowds, looking for a smile or a trace. Skyscrapers rise like prison walls, my hope's getting harder to chase. I'm a simple man in an impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. In this land of dreams and despair, I wander these streets all alone, hoping for a chance, a ray of light to guide me back to where I belong. I'm a simple man in an impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. Weathered hands and a heart that's true, just looking to make it through. Dusty roads and neon nights, still searching for the light. I'm a simple man in impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. Another sunset fades to gray as the night takes over the sky. My heart beats echo with the my way, 'cause I've had enough. With each step forward through the mud and rain, my spirit's strong, won't bow to pain. I'm a simple man in impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. So if you see me wandering, lost but not alone, remember there's a fight within, a fire brightly shone. In this tangled world of hope and fear, I'm a simple man, but I'll persevere. I'm a simple man in an impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. I'm a simple man in an impossible America, trying to keep my spirits high. Yeah, we drank to Bobby till the break of dawn, with a tear in our eye, but his spirit's so strong. Oh, Bobby, your blues live on and on, in every riff, in every song. Rolling through those midnight streets where the shadows lay so thick, little Bobby's blues guitar always made the moment click. Gone too soon, but not forgotten. His soul now plays divine. His riffs linger like a ghost in every southern line. Oh, Bobby, your blues live on and on, in every strum and every song. It's gone. Every bar and juke joint feels a little less alive, but your spirit echoes through the night in chords that still survive. From Memphis to the Delta, your legend's in the air. A blues man of the ages, no other could compare. Oh, Bobby, your blues live on and on, in every strum and every song. Lost gone. Your blues live on and on, in every strum and every song. And yes, your legacy, it won't fade away, but in our hearts you'll always stay. So here's to little Bobby, with a tear and a nod. Your music touched the heavens, now you're grooving with God. His tunes are in the wind tonight, blowing through sycamore trees. Every whisper of his chord brings comfort and the ease. The honky-tonk and roadhouse vibe, the jukebox and the scene, all praise the king of six-string riffs, where little Bobby's been. Oh, Bobby, believe, yeah, baby, this tree.
It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alara Center in Grand Forks, and they're looking for sponsors and vendors. This is a great opportunity to get your business noticed by thousands of people for this 2 long days of this awesome event. If you'd like to get your business noticed, or if you'd like a booth, contact Sarah, 763-568-1946, or Dennis at 701-741-5205. There'll be a raffle with over $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. And veterans are absolutely free. Find out more by going to rrvmnd.org. Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alara Center in Grand Forks.
In 1985 with a roar, sporting veteran dreams to explore. Electric guitar echoing the past. I'm in the DeLorean, make life fast. All boys, neon lights all aglow. Casino nights where fortunes grow. With every roll of dice we take, time's a liquor, history stays. Rocking in the future lane, ripping through the years, saying insane. This empire towering past, an alternate world, the future's glass. Lightning strikes, DeLorean track, with Doc and Marty, adventures back. Hill Valley's agent back in line, underneath the clock, a shift in time. Rocking in the future lane, ripping through the years, saying insane. Hurry like the present with the style, back to the future, mile by mile. Skies are blazed with flying cars, digital dreams and the neon stars. In the future lane, there's no breaks. Dancing time, there's nothing to say. Cafe 80s, a blast from the past. A hologram that spins so fast. On the napkin and fortune told. In a future where we're bold. Rocking in the future lane. Through the flux we break the chain. Checking history with every trial. Back to the future, mile by mile. Where we're going, we don't need pros. In a world of the unknown unfolds. With every twist, the future's alive. 88 miles to the end of the vibe. Let's ride in the future lane. Moments pass and nothing's the same. From the past to the future we fight. In the DeLorean, time zone, say bye. Skies, jackets on, didn't gotta try. Fleeting moments, ticking clocks. In the soundtrack of time just rocks. Little sidewalk tomorrow dawn. Life in the town and we're never gone. In the alleyway, secrets unfold. Where fortune favors the brave and bold. Rocking your future lane. Turning flux and fire like rain. When the timeline was the brilliant soul. Einstein bars for the gadgets roll. Funny rubber to Dimension Y with Matt Dark Brown along for the ride. Lost the time in our favor now. This got a side that we're taking around. Trudy writes the script with a glossy spin. Back to 1955 where it all begins. Blazing down the future road again. Time sucks working, no need to pretend.
Name rings clear, running the chip, the crowd's all here. Motorcycles roar and the engines gleam, living that Sturgis wild man's dream. From dusk till dawn, the party's loud and mean. He's leading the rally, knows what it means. With a heart of steel and a vision grand, he built this legend with his own 2 hands. Time Chip. It's rock and roll. Woody's name is carved in history. At the Chip, we ride free. That's the legacy. Woody spirit makes this place feel like home. The open road where freedom sings. Buffalo Chips, the heart of everything. Neon lights and the stars above. Country tunes blend with stories of love. Race steel guitars and a roaring crowd. With every strum, we make him proud. Through the years, he's held the reins, turning sparks into roaring flames. Woody's name, it's carved in history. At the Chip, we ride free, that's the legacy. Cowboy hat and a heart so true. Woody's guiding us like he always knew. Legends rise and legends fall, but Woody's name stands above them all. Through the dust and the wind, he paved the way for every ride and every summer day. Bikers bond, hell unfold. Bikers bond and tales unfold. And every mile we ride, the legends told. Woody's name, it's carved in history. At the Chip, we ride free, that's the legacy. From leather jackets to patches worn, in Woody's world, true legends are born. Engines rev and flags wave high in the shadow of the South Dakota sky. Woody's name, it's carved in history. At the Chip, we ride free, that's the legacy.
Bravo!
Very good. Ah, well, thank you.
You have been busy this evening.
Well, I just, I figure, it would be more appropriate just to get everything squared away while I was waiting for everybody to come in. I told everybody that 4:30 is when I do the pre-show, and it doesn't matter if you come in at that time or not. It's just whatever is good for everybody,
Okay, so that is the time.
Well, I mean, 4:30 is the pre-show, but 5 o'clock is the main show, depending on how many guests we have. Now tonight we only have one, and he might not be on until 6:30, or he might be on at 6. It just depends. We'll see how it goes or whatever. But this is what the time that I'm always going to do the pre-show, regardless of how many people we have on, because I want to give a little extra content when we're doing the Saturday replay. If it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't care at all. I just want to fill it with more content, just so we have more stuff to offer. And I got lots.
How are the replays? Are they doing okay?
I've been doing pretty good. I mean, the last one got us almost 2,000 views just on their video alone. And that was just with the Ahmed Johnson interview and the interview with Dennis McNulty, and then all our shenanigans and all that stuff. So yeah, did pretty good. What's going on, Mad Dog?
What's up?
It's not much, sir. Glad to see you here. I'm sure everybody else will start showing up once they start seeing us. But yeah, it's like John Roberts was getting a hold of me and asked me, like, how come we have to be on so early? It's like, well, first of all, you don't have to be on you can come on whenever you want. I've never once ever told everybody that it's required that you have to be here at a certain time. If you want to participate, go right ahead. but I've never once ever said you have to be here. You know,
What do you?
it's
what
always
is that?
optional. Oh, it's just some juice. Oh, you can't. Yeah, it's just some grape juice or whatever. I don't know. Twister.
Whisk.
That's pretty good. It's in the cheap section at Walmart there. Couple bucks
Walmart.
there. Couple bucks there. But yeah, no, I just everything's been going good over here at least. You know, got the new TV this past Wednesday. Mama T and I took a trip down to Grand Forks and had a good time. We even went to Applebee's. Had a great time.
Stop it.
No, I'm
What
serious.
TV? Okay, now what did you do now? Did you
Well-
upgrade or add something?
Well, I didn't want to. Okay, the TV that I got last April was from Aaron's Rent Sales and Lease. Okay, or Aaron's Rents. Don't know if you ever heard of them at all. If they should have them in your area, but you know, because
But I think I know the principle of it.
Yeah, it's like rent to own stuff.
Yeah,
And I just,
yeah.
at the time, I thought, okay, I could probably do this. You know, it'd be okay and everything. But then I thought, once I got, well, the first TV they gave me was a Samsung QLED, and that was okay. But then I noticed it had as soon as I got it hooked up, as soon as the guys left that hooked it up for me, I noticed that there was like a line in the TV, like a purple line or whatever, and I couldn't get it out. It just wouldn't, no matter what you did. And I tried to look at directions and stuff to take, because everybody says you can take burn it out and everything. Well, I tried and I failed. You know, it didn't work at all. So I called him back the next day and I told him, well, there's a problem with the purchase because I didn't notice this, you know, when I looked at it beforehand, but the TV is it has an issue. There's a line through it, or a purple line, and I couldn't get it out. So, and it wasn't caused by me or anybody. It's just the fact that it's probably just because it's been on for a long time. Probably. See, they don't sell a lot of new products. Most of their products lately have been used products, but the problem is that they sell used products for ridiculous prices, and if you have bad credit, then it's a problem. You know, because it's like you're buying somebody else's shit, you know, that's been used 1,000 times,
Right.
and you're still expected to pay brand new prices or whatever. So with the stand that I got and the TV, they wanted me to pay. Well, they gave me some time to pay off a cheaper price, which I almost was going to do, but then something happened. I wasn't able to do it. But so the most they were going to charge me were, I guess, over $3,000 for both total, and I didn't want to spend $3,000 on a TV that, because the second TV was a brand new TV. They kind of had no other choice because they wanted my business, so they sent me a brand new TV that was never used. But the problem was that it wasn't a full array TV. And I wanted something like that. I wanted a full array, like Dolby Vision, all that good stuff, you know, like I have on the mini LED in the back and all that, and whatnot. That's what I wanted for a TV because it just gives you a better picture. You know, people can say they don't, you know, like what's the difference between HDR and Dolby Vision? Well, Dolby Vision's Dolby Vision will give you better picture quality, better than you think, even on a cheap TV. So if it has Dolby Vision on it, you want that. Because
Even if I think this is where I get confused. Are you best viewing with a TV like this streamable product? Now, I know you're a DVD collector and I have some too.
Yeah.
So what happens then when I just put in a DVD and I mean, what kind of quality is it going to be better just because of the TV?
It all depends on your TV, but also depends on what type of player you have.
Sure.
If you have a good enough player that will, like, what kind of player do you have?
Oh God, I mean,
Goodness, I heard the other day. Is it? Oops.
I don't-
Right.
I don't even know. So I mean, that's
You don't know what type of player you have. You're an avid movie guy. You don't even know what type of player.
yeah, I don't. I've never put in a DVD. So
We see you, John. By the way, how's it going there? John Roberts.
yeah, I never
might only see
never
us.
put any on. So I don't know.
So you don't know when's the last. Okay, so when you bought like how long? Okay, so you don't know how long it's been since you actually bought a player or I bought a disc. Wow. So you probably just stream everything then, huh?
Settings.
Pretty much. Okay,
Yeah.
well that's fine. I have a Panasonic Blu-ray player. It's a 4K player. So everything that it had some type of deal in there where I paid like $200 for it. So it has like some type of deal with chroma casting or chroma something with the picture quality to make everything better than it was before. So I popped in a DVD the other day just to try it out, and it looked like a Blu-ray almost. Like it was a movie called Mortal Engines.
No.
And it was pretty good. And
Okay.
it almost looked like a Blu-ray quality. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't
Right,
you know brighter, but it was for what it was. It was okay.
Okay.
You know, so mostly it just depends on what you have. If you have good stuff, it's going to make a difference. If you have cheap stuff that
Well,
is like
yeah.
on brand or whatever or basic whatever, I'd like to think that you're not a basic person though, there, Lance. I'd like to, like I've always said, I've always made it seem like because you're in the business and well, no. I know we won't talk about that no
That's the
more.
reason to be the most basic.
Yeah, but see, I'm sorry if I was
There's
in
no
Hollywood
Joneses.
or whatever.
There's no keeping up with nobody here.
No, it's not even about that. I'm talking just the fact that because like even your dad. I mean, it's like, I mean, come on, I mean, I know he has to be more than a simple person sometimes. When it comes to quality of television. I know he's older and stuff, so it probably doesn't matter now. But I think even to like Dick Van Dyke or even like Mel Brooks, I think they still care about quality over quantity.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree one bit. No, I think so.
Age has nothing to do with anything when it comes to that.
Correct.
And I'm not trying to brag about because I bought something that's expensive. I bought something that's not as cheap. It wasn't expensive. $500, $535 total with cat with.
What's the size?
65. And now I own it. That was the whole idea. I want to own something. I didn't want to have payments anymore because if I'm going to save up to come see you, I got to eliminate some payments on some stuff, and that was one of them.
Well, I mean, everybody says how lavish you actually live, but
what, me? No.
Well, I don't know. Out there.
Yeah, well, I ain't no pimp by any means. There ain't no chicks coming to my place at all. If they are,
it had nothing to do with chicks. That's the reason why you got more.
Well,
you want to stay away.
Hey,
you won't have.
I got a question for you guys. I got a question for you guys. Am I starting to look more and more like Mad Dog?
Ha! Yeah, you could be his twin brother, I guess.
and
better looking.
I'm gonna be doing some hat changes, just like you see we do at the racetrack. Of course, I've got one of my very first Grand Forks Best Sports hats on now, but I forgot my hat at the studio, so I grabbed my wife's pink hat, but you can see what that is. So
what's adorable?
And I'm going to say it's a glorious day. It's a glorious day.
Oh, there. Of course.
Got my little rant done.
Oh, geez. Yeah, of course it's a glorious day. I mean, yeah, we're all happy that the change has been made. I mean, I just wish the change would be the temperature. I wish our weather would change. That's all.
Yeah.
How cold it got there, Lance?
Yeah.
And, what are you at? What are you at right now?
Almost like 25 below. Right. 25 below. Right
well,
now.
This morning it was almost 50 below zero with the wind chill.
Wow.
Right now it's 17 below.
It has reached the hottest temperature it's going to here in Las Vegas. It's 51 degrees.
Oh, boy. I feel so sorry for you there.
So is this unseasonably cold at the 20 degree below? And is this normal?
No.
Yeah, no, that's Mother Nature's way of saying she doesn't want humans living there.
Yeah. We should
just like when it gets to 125 here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And the thing is up here we're lucky because sometimes this happens and it'll hold on for 3 weeks to a month where it's like this, and then it gets bad. I mean, like now, today and yesterday is when you start to see the people, they need a jump, and if you got a bad battery, it's going to show when it's 30 below out, but it's going to get down in the 20 belows again tonight and then start to warm up. But I'm leaving. My wife and I are leaving on Wednesday morning, and we're going to Arkansas for a couple of days, and then we're going to head down to Alabama on the Gulf and then come home. So I'm not sure about next Monday. If I can jump on a computer, I think I'm going to be in Alabama. I'll try to join you guys, but I'm not promising
I'm
anything.
leaving for Anaheim tomorrow, and it's going to be 68 there. It's going to be t-shirt weather.
That's amazing. Well, that's fine there, John. I mean, if you know, I'll send you, if you bring the laptop with, I'll send you the link anyway, and then, you know, it don't really matter. You know, maybe you can show us what it's like over there.
Well,
give us a little idea.
What I would do is probably just use my sister's and just send you her email.
Okay.
And maybe do it that way so we don't have to haul anything down.
I'm planning on bringing her laptop.
Oh, my wife says she's planning on bringing her laptop.
Yeah, I heard her.
But
I heard
now,
her.
Yep. Well, that's just it. It all depends on what my sister has planned for us, too. If she's got a fishing trip planned for me, I've never fished the Gulf of Mexico yet, and it's on my bucket list, so I'm going to have to do that.
Oh, whatever. Just keep me informed.
I think you need to stream that on the show then. You need like a GoPro so we can enjoy this fishing with you.
That's all I need is, honey, you wouldn't believe what happened to your laptop.
No, I'd be like, we can warn you if there's a fish coming. You know, like if you
have a big enough Ziploc. Yeah.
That's something. Yeah.
Ken, when you say Anaheim, is that anything to do with the NAMM show?
It has everything to do with the NAMM show.
Okay, bravo.
Yeah, I've been going for a little over 20 years.
Bravo. I've only been to one, and it was several years ago, but man.
Yeah, things have changed, but it's still where I can run into a whole lot of my friends all in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
That's cool.
We just hope that you're getting better there, Ken, because I could hear it today more than I could hear it last time we spoke. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I think I got some pneumonia.
Oh,
and
that's great.
I just didn't go in and get an inhaler. I'm just, dumbassing my way through it.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to me. I was in a bad accident years ago, and I'd collapsed my lung. I broke all my ribs so bad, and so I have so much scar tissue in that lung right there. I tend to get pneumonia in it, and I'm pretty sure I got it because my wife and I, we're still fighting the end of this thing, but it's been since before Christmas, and it's still hanging on. And I felt like I got kicked by a horse right where all my ribs were broken. It hurt like that for a month.
I can tell because I run out of breath pretty quick, and that's not normal.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I like to believe that that's your house in the background there, Ken. You know, like you really live the fancy life.
Oh yeah. It is honest.
Piano in the background.
No, that's the great thing about green screen.
Well, I was just watching. I was just watching two deer out the window here a couple of minutes ago.
See, you remember
got a pretty
MASH?
nice view. I'm up in the loft in my wife's office. Oh yeah,
that's fine. Oh yeah, oh okay. Now you're in MASH now. Now you're in the tent. That's amazing. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Renegade Radio Season 4, Episode number 3. This is technically like the pre-show or after the pre-show, but we're here live here for another great episode of the show. And tonight we only have one guest. So for the first time in a while, we've been so used to having more than one guest, So tonight we just have one, and his name is Joe Ray. And guys probably don't know a whole lot about the guy, but he interviewed me back in around New Year's here this past a few weeks ago. Before we came back for season 4 here, and he's an actor. He's a radio guy, and he's a teacher. Now, I know, Lance, I sent you some info a few days ago. Did you get the link that I sent you?
Yeah.
So you got your info anyway,
Mm-hmm.
At least okay, good.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because I'll start doing that from now on. Just to when you're able to make it, whatever. Because next week we're gonna have a very special guest as well. We have Stuart Frackton from Teen Wolf 2 is going to be making an appearance. Ski School, if you remember that movie. But he's working on he's doing a new movie, and I think he said he's going to have his the the director of that film be on as well. So, and I can get you guys the name here of the movie here, just so you, in case if you want to know, we'll get it here for you. Let's see. What is the name of the movie that he was talking about? Don't Say It movie. It's a digital. It's gonna be on video on demand. It's called Don't Say It the movie. So obviously an independent film that they've been working on, and I don't know if he's the main guy or what, but he is part of what he's doing. So that'll be all right. There's Ken. Yeah, you must have got disconnected there, Ken. Huh?
No, I tried to upload a different background and said you had to log in to do that. So I clicked that link and it took me out of the room.
Okay.
I'll have to do that later.
That's right. So, John, I'm sure you want to talk about football. You know, I mean, a week ago we were just getting excited for the Vikings to advance, and what's been going on? Give us the John Roberts football review of the last week for you. Tell us what you're going through, because I'm curious about it.
As you can see, I'm not wearing my Minnesota Vikings hat anymore. The Vikings stunk. They looked horrible. But and if any of you guys know football and watch the game, and I'm in this on free, but it was horrible. It always is against the Vikes. And it was early in the game, the intentional grounding things that were going on, and it would have made a big difference. But whatever, we had a good year. I'm kind of surprised at who's winning so far, but Kansas City, you talk about refereeing. I mean, I think Mahomes blows them after the game or something. But right now they're the favored. Big football game tonight, though. Ohio State and Notre Dame for the college football championship is tonight, and that's actually going to be a good one. They expanded the playoff system way more. It's 12 or 16 teams, but these guys are like the number 4 and 5 seeds or whatever. Normally it's the number 1 and 2 that march all the way through and end up playing for the championship. So it's a true tournament format, and it made it better. And I kind of like that, where it's not always the team that kicks ass all year long that walks their way into it, but it's these guys that they gel at the right time. You just do it. I mean, I'm still involved with hockey, and with all these interviews I do with coaches and stuff. The season, they started practicing high school hockey here in October. Their season started in beginning of November, and they're really not playing until it gets to January is when it makes a difference. You just gotta be just peaking out at the right time, and so that's kind of the fun thing about sports.
So, do you think were you surprised that the Commanders beat the Lions? I mean, I think that surprised a lot of people.
The Commanders are coming on, but the Lions are beatable, and it's because of their injuries. They've got a ton of injuries. I mean, they made the Vikes look bad, but they had 9 sacks, and you can blame it on the line. But we've also got 2 of the best wide receivers, 3 in the country, counting our tight end. If he can't throw the damn ball to him, and now everybody's like, well, he got 14 wins or whatever and set all his records. And we have a first round draft pick that's hurt. That's going to be our franchise. So now they're stuck with what to do with them, because the Vikes have a buttload of money to spend next year, cap money, but they can't waste it on this guy. So I don't know. They've been breaking my heart for 59 years. I mean, it's just.
So what's your prediction for the Super Bowl then? Who do you think is going to be the final competitors? I think it's going to be KC and Eagles again. I just had that feeling.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of the Eagles. Maybe if I didn't hate their fans and their attitudes, it would make a different thing. But I just don't want Kansas City to win. And when you think about it, Minnesotans up here, if you're a true, like a baseball fan, we had Mahomes was on the Minnesota Twins, and that's his kid is Patrick, the quarterback. because was it Pat Mahomes played for the Minnesota Twins back in the day, and so he does have Minnesota ties and everything, but they get shit handed to him. It's almost like what's his name was out at with the Buccaneers in that era with Tom Brady. I mean, if you got within 3 feet of them, they'd throw a flag, you know, and, it's I hate to see that. You know, it upsets me when I see social media and they're saying that football is rigged, you know, and you hate to even hear that if you're a true sports guy, but it happens.
Yeah, it just seems like it is. It just seems like it just, can't get rid of it.
If you're Patrick Mahomes and you don't even get hit and get called for roughing the passer, that's pretty bad.
Oh, no. Yeah, and they don't get the intentional grounding penalties, and they don't get which could have been a safety. Yeah.
Hey, Sam, you want to turn down your TV, please? Or mute your TV? Hello. Tom. Screaming Tom. Hello. You want to mute can you mute your TV, please? I'm hearing all this audio in the background.
Hold on a second.
All right. See, now we don't hear it no more.
What? He goes, I can't hear you. The TV's too loud.
It's always him, too. I think he does.
It's on the same as it every week.
I know, but I can hear it. You know, like I mean, literally, these headphones are good or something, or I'm sure everybody else can hear it too. I'm sure. You know, but whatever, it's okay. What's going on, What's going on there, Sam? Good to see you, and Mad Dog and Lance and Ken and Mama T and John Roberts. Mama T and I had a great time in Grand Forks.
It wasn't a date.
Sure.
I didn't say anything about being a date. I just, it was a good time. You know, we had a good
whatever helps you sleep at night, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Well,
he said that hotel room cost
he bought
a
me
lot of
food
money.
and he didn't ask me for gas money, so
I could have asked you for other
That
things,
was a
but
date
I knew
night.
that was going to be something. Because everyone wants to know.
When were you guys
it's
here?
Oh, in the afternoon. And then we weren't here
Today?
long because no, that was last week. Last Wednesday.
Wednesday.
He didn't ask
And the
me
only
for
reason
gas
why-
money, that was a date.
Well, I would have asked for something else, but I knew that was off the table, so it's just like
Not even close to the table.
yeah. Well,
Not even in
we're,
the kitchen.
We're really way far apart. Anyway, I'm just kidding with everybody. No, we did go to Grand Forks. We had a good time. We just, the whole purpose was for that TV, and I figured, well, we didn't, she and I haven't gotten together at all during the break at all, so I just figured, well, let's hang out. Let's get you out of the house a little bit, And it was.
I gotta go someplace other than Ricky's shop and Ricky's garage and the
Yeah.
grocery store. I mean,
Did you see your shadow?
if it
How many
has
more
to be
weeks of winter do we
with
have?
Sean, then I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, that's far away yet. It's not Groundhog Day yet. How many Bill Murrays do you see? That's what. Oh yeah.
What would you do if that really happened? Would that be so awesome to be Bill Murray, to be Groundhog Day?
I would just hope that if you're going to relive the same day, it's a really good day. I hope it's not a sucky day.
I think they really missed it when they didn't come out with Groundhog Day 2 and just re-release the first movie.
Wonder how many people would have been pissed or would have went, what?
Yeah, but everybody who knew the deal would just go, okay, all right, you got me.
Yeah, come on for this exciting trailer and everything. It's like we can't show you much, but if you come to the theater, we will then reveal everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have a packed house of people that actually want to see Groundhog Day and are so excited.
Get everybody in it, a little
yeah,
bit of the
yeah,
game, give them a percentage.
Yeah. Make sure they buy all their snacks ahead of time before they watch it. Don't tell them they can't watch it until they buy snacks and everything.
Damn.
And late.
Frankie, if you think about it, how far is it from Brooks to Erskine?
Oh,
it's not bad,
minutes.
is it?
10 minutes.
Okay. You guys should grab Mama T or something, but you guys should go check out that ice racing at Lake Cameron. It's really cool. you can park right out there and sit in your car and just watch the races, and the announcer announces on a radio frequency. They have a low power and transmitter,
FM.
but it's really cool. You should see these cars racing on the lake on ice. They're going three wheels. They're hooked up like a dirt car. It's unreal, and they have people ride with them and shit. It's crazy. But you guys need to go check it out because you could use.
That'd be fun.
It's really cool. Yeah,
Wow.
you can actually sit in the bar
messy.
in Erskine there, the Dees or whatever it is, and you can watch the racing from the window.
Oh,
It's
okay.
badass. They want me to be their announcer, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
Oh,
come
you
on,
guys
man.
check it out.
You gotta announce everything there, John. You can't let any of us guys have a chance to announce anything ever in the future or nothing. You gotta do everything.
Yep.
You gotta be the announcer for everything.
No, if I did that, I could make a living announcing at racetracks here, and I'd only have to work in the summer. But
Yeah.
but it's 4 days a week, and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, I have a wife too, and summers are way too short to spend them at 4 different racetracks 4 days a week.
Well, I didn't say you were
And-
married.
and-
I say if you were single and everything, you
Yeah,
have
but
to do
that
it all.
one in
Yeah.
the wintertime. What happens if you have a warm winter? They ain't going to race on the ice no more.
Well,
that's right.
last year they didn't get to race. We actually had such a decent winter last year that it wasn't for making good ice, and so they didn't race last year. But I mean, I was down. I live right on along the side of a river here, and I was down 3 weeks ago on a side by side with tracks, and there's ice houses down behind my house on the river, and so it's a lot different this year. We don't have hardly any snow, but it's really cold right now. It's making ice like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my God, I am so cold. That's why I dipped in later. I was just
that's
like,
fine.
it's so cold. Like the landlord still hasn't gotten the furnace fixed, so my house is heated by space heaters, and it is not very weatherproof.
boy.
So yeah, and the cold makes me hurt. So
Oh,
I waited for my medicine to
I
kick
hear
in,
ya.
and then I opened a bottle of my rheumatoid medicine. Oh, I'm gonna start a new. I'm gonna start a new segment. It's gonna be like a it's gonna be a shorter show. Well, maybe not so much shorter, but it's gonna be called Buzz After Hours, where we drink and smoke and cuss and tell dirty stories and possibly bring on like big fans, the fans of the show, and just sit there and chat with them and BS and tell stories. And I'm going to have a little segment on it. There'll be little games we play. And one of them is going to be, my Buzz with Mama T mug, right? What's in Mama's mug?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we can guess that. Well, we can guess what isn't in Mama. Won't you have what isn't in Mama T's mug?
Yeah, that's
And-
right.
And then there's like we decided maybe we should have another little game on there. You know how like when people start putting their thumbs on the table and the last one to put their thumb on the table has to drink or whatever. So Jeremy suggested we could do a little game where every time Mama takes a drag off a cigarette, everybody drinks. And I'm like, yeah, but everybody would be wasted halfway into the show.
That wouldn't last very long.
No. You saw, so
Everybody be
I don't
hammered in
have-
about an hour.
Yeah.
I don't have an upstairs dog and a downstairs dog anymore.
Mama T Show brought to you by the package store. Come on down.
So my upstairs dog decided that one day she was just going to say fuck it, and she pushed the board down and she came and hopped on the couch with me with the big dog in the way.
Yeah.
Laying right there she jumped right over, and so they're getting along, making progress. But yeah, I noticed on the camera that my arm was going up and down, so that's why I moved the camera so you guys could see what it was doing and not somebody sitting here,
Well, we're talking about the weather and stuff, and then we're talking about how cold it is here in Minnesota, or at least in northern Minnesota.
Tickle my ass with a feather.
That's right. Tickle your ass with a feather.
Oh,
typical funny weather. What did you say?
Yeah, well, remember now, this week my thing is I am the master debater.
I love the spelling on that, by the way.
Yeah, just so you know, Renegade Radio here. But you want to know how cold it is. I want to show you guys kind of how cold it is. Just stop, look, and listen. We'll say.
Oh, it's colder than a
We're not
mother-in-law's
going to have
kiss. It's
shrinkage
so
here,
cold,
is
my
there?
plumber pulled his pants up. It's kind of cold to freeze the hinges right off the gates of hell. It's so cold the chickens are lining up to get in the oven. It's colder than a room full of ex-wives at a wedding. It's kind of cold to freeze the balls off a pool table. It's so cold the thermostat just gave me the middle finger. This cold is meaner than a skillet full of rattlesnakes. Cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. It's so cold the Statue of Liberty put the torch inside her dress. It's so cold the flashers are only showing pictures. It's cold enough I saw squirrels throwing themselves at electric fences.
That's how cold it
Colder
is
than
here,
that.
Minnesota.
I learned something.
It's colder than that.
Congratulations. What was it?
Okay. The phrase that everybody says is it's colder than hell. That is incorrect. It's colder than hail. Hail being frozen rain. Hell being on fire.
No.
Well, that's true. I'd rather be frozen.
Yeah, the phrase is actually colder than hail.
I tell people, like right now, how it is, how you can be outside and spit, and it bounces off the snow because it freezes before it even hits the ground, and that's no exaggeration at all. That's what it is like out here. You hit your auto start from inside the house, and you look out the window, and you could it's just woo, 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 because either that or you have to plug your car in. But yeah, it's flipping cold. My corgi doesn't even want to go out. He seizes up out there.
Pea ice cubes.
Yeah.
You have a diesel, John?
I feel sorry for the female dogs because, if I had to drag my area into the snow to take a leak, I would pee my pants.
You might get stuck.
Right? Exactly. A yellow icicle
but there's
cube
hardly
connecting me to the ground.
If it's freezing that
there's hardly snow right now. But like my Labradoodle, he's fine on this stuff. And we had Great Pyrenees golden retrievers before, big 100+ pound dogs. They would lay out in the blizzards out here until they were almost buried. They'd rather be out in the snow than come in. But my Labradoodle, he's okay with it out there. But my corgi, his feet get so cold that I can tell when it's this cold and he's out in the yard sitting down. I know it's because his feet are so cold he can't walk. And then you got to start yelling, and otherwise you're going to get bundled up and go try to haul his ass in. But yeah, it's going to warm up here in a couple of days.
Oh,
yeah,
So I've got these local people that keep seeing her outside. They'll drive by and they'll see her outside. Oh, it's too cold for that dog. That poor dog out there. She's laying in a snowbank because she begged to go outside. She's a husky. It's what she's built for.
Yeah.
It's what she wants. It's too hot in the house for her.
Yeah, a friend of mine in Lake Tahoe has a husky, and it starts snowing there, and his dog won't come in the house. She's like, "No, man, this is it. This is for me."
This is not a snowbank. This is a bed.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a snowbank.
No, and that's very common up here. I mean, people have dogs. There's people around here, their dogs don't ever come in their house. Me, our animals are like family. Our cats, when we have cats, if they don't, we'll call for them at night. In the summer, if they don't come to the door and we call for them, they're going to spend the night outside. We wake up in the morning, they're usually sleeping on the deck furniture, and they're cats. They're out killing and hunting and doing everything. But our dogs they're outside as much as we possibly can have them outside, but they live in the house. I mean, they're part of the family.
I got a positive message for today. I lost the nest. Let's see.
Safe sex.
I agree.
Safe sex.
There you go.
That's our positive thing for the day.
I noticed you used the $sign on sucks.
Well, sucks if you got to pay.
Takes all the money out of your account.
Yes, it sucks if you have to pay.
Well, if you guys want to know how Midwestern we are around here, well, here's a clip thanks to our good friend of the show, Charlie Barons.
We're Midwesterners. We decide to live where the air hurts our face.
We're Midwesterners.
We're going to talk about the weather so we don't have to talk about our feelings. It's called.
We're Midwesterners. Our therapists are bartenders.
We're Midwesterners. We'll risk our lives on 2 inches of ice for 3 small perch.
We're Midwesterners. We'll fall asleep in a tree and call it hunting.
We're Midwesterners. We like long walks through frozen cornfields. Oh, watch out.
We're Midwesterners. Our dads never told us I love you. We're Midwesterners. Oh, snowshoe hair. We're Midwesterners.
Hurry up, dude. My hands are cold. We got it. Let's go. We're Midwesterners. We'll lean in your window when you're trying to leave.
We're Midwesterners. We'll wave at you with our fingers.
We're Midwesterners. It's not a turn signal. It's a blinker.
We're Midwesterners. We live here because of the scenery. Do you look at these views?
We're Midwesterners. We don't choose our ice scrapers. Our ice scrapers choose us.
We're Midwesterners. As soon as it hits 30 degrees, we switch to cargo shorts.
We're Midwesterners. We don't know if we're driving on the road or a cornfield.
Oh, no, there's another car.
Oh, yeah.
There's another car. We're Midwesterners. When it's snowing out, we like to drive around and whip shitties. Oh!
We're Midwesterners. We drive around with sand in the truck bed for traction.
We're Midwesterners. We don't judge distance in miles, but in time. Yeah, we're about 15 minutes from the bar.
We're Midwesterners. We get excited when we drive by cows. Count them. 1, 2. I got about 14 there.
We're Midwesterners. In the winter, we drive around with the AC on because we got too many layers.
We're Midwesterners. We take the leftovers home, even though we hated it the first time. That casserole suck.
We're Midwesterners. It wouldn't be so cold if it weren't for the wind.
Dude, what are you talking about? It's literally -9 out. We're Midwesterners. Our stop signs like to dance. See? He's doing the twist. Come on, baby. Twist and shout. Come on, come a little closer now. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Fella must be a fib.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing.
Oh, I got a joke for you guys. I heard a great joke today.
Driving like that every day. I mean, we drive like that all the time in that shit.
You wave with your fingers.
I don't want you guys to think. I don't want you guys to think us people from Pittsburgh are weak because it's only a -9 here.
Oh, so sorry for you there. So we're -21 over here.
What's your joke, Mama T?
Yeah, what's going on?
Why are women
Yeah,
like
what's
pools?
your joke?
Why are women like pools?
I don't know.
Well, because for the amount of money you put in for maintenance, it doesn't even cover the amount of time you spend inside it.
Next.
Yeah. Boo. Yeah. What's the punchline? Oh, a sex joke. Sure. Have some more water.
I'm sorry. I forgot you don't get those.
How do you know what a mechanic has a
Kind of
girlfriend?
like COVID jokes. You're not going to get it anyway.
Yeah. What's going on?
How do you know when a mechanic has a girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't know.
His hands are clean.
He's got 2 clean fingers.
See, that was funny. See, good job, kid. Good job, kid. See, you know why it's funny? Because he went right to the punchline right away. He didn't make us wait. You made us wait a little bit. You took your time.
It's called timing.
Okay.
It's like the Polish coal miners. Their Peters are clean.
See, that was funny. Yeah. Anyway, it was funny there. I know.
There was a coal miner joke that's really long. It's a painting with these 3 black guys, and one of them's got a pink thing. And the couple are standing there. Oh, yes, well, it's the artistic expression of this and that and everything. And finally, this guy had been standing in the back. He goes, it's none of that. They said, who are you? He says, I painted it. They said, well, what is it? I says, it's 3 coal miners. The guy in the middle went home for lunch.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Who's it? The hell? Somebody's eating.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh, that you there? Oh, you and your.
I'm sorry, I was pulling a licorice shot.
You got. He has a Twizzler. Well, it looks like everybody's hungry, so we're gonna take a quick little break here, and then we'll be back with some more Renegade Radio.
Right, you're gonna make me cry again?
No, I'm gonna make you hungry. I'm gonna make you hungry, actually. So just hold on.
I have no desire to cook, but the people in my house have a desire to eat. So let's make something because they must be fed every fucking night. And it must be done by me, I guess. I am not sure what we're eating tonight, but it's going to involve this sausage, I think. Because I have it in the fridge. Sausage chopped. Let's melt some butter. Nope, I don't want to do that. Olive oil, because I don't have to dirty a utensil to get olive oil out. Sausage in my pan. Whatever pan you use for this meal, make sure it has a lid. Brown up your sausage until it looks a little crispy, a little brown, and then we'll move on to the next step. My sausage is brown. My pasta is a pound. I'm throwing it in. This is fusilli. And I'm also going to throw right in a jar of pasta sauce, whatever kind you like. But we're not going to waste what's in the bottom of the pasta sauce jar. No, we're not. We are going to fill it with chicken broth. 1 jar worth. Helps if you spill everything all over yourself while you're cooking. 1.5 jars worth of chicken broth. I go by eyeball, and that's what my eyeballs are telling me. I didn't purchase any special ingredients for this meal. I just had all this shit in the back of my fridge. Allow your pasta and sausage to come to a simmer, and then pop a lid on this bitch. Like so. Allow these to cook until your noodles are mostly done. There won't be much liquid left in the pot when we return. Some time has elapsed, and there is less liquid in this pot than there once was. I'm going to give this a stir, and I'm going to add more shit to it. What shit, you're asking? Spinach that I found in the back of my fridge. I don't remember why I purchased it, but I did, and it still looks fine. I don't know, a few handfuls of spinach. Remember, it's going to cook down. I could put in way more spinach than that, but my children are going to cry at any amount of vegetables that are in this that's not broccoli, and they won't stop slamming the doors and screaming, and I'm at the end of my rope. While my spinach is wilting down, I'm also going to add in Parmesan blend, because I want it to be a little creamy and a little cheesy. And this is also why I didn't salt it yet, because Parmesan, Asiago, Romano is very salty cheeses. And I swear to God, my daughter is waiting until I start talking to start screaming. I do this every night, and we don't run into this very often. I'm going to stir this around, pop a lid on it, let it melt down, let my spinach wilt, and then we will serve this up alongside nothing. You get nothing else tonight. This is it. 1 pot, bada bing, bada boom, dinner. My pasta is looking done. Can you tell? Probably not. So let's plate this shit up. Here you have it. Creamy chicken, sausage, pasta with spinach. And I know what you're thinking. Is it even good? And I'm thinking the same thing because I thought this up about 30 minutes ago as I stumbled into the kitchen after taking a long nap and had to feed my family. I'm not particularly happy about this fact tonight. Let's try this. Oh my God. This is so good. Especially for something that I threw together, having no plan at all until I started making it. Make this shit. But, of course it's good. I made it. Follow along for more aggressive tutorials. Alright, see you next time, guys.
It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alara Center in Grand Forks, and they're looking for sponsors and vendors. This is a great opportunity to get your business noticed by thousands of people for this 2 long days of this awesome event. If you'd like to get your business noticed, or if you'd like a booth, contact Sarah, 763-568-1946, or Dennis at 701-741-5205. There'll be a raffle with over $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. And veterans are absolutely free. Find out more by going to rrvmnd.org. Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alara Center in Grand Forks.
You don't get this stuff from Howard Stern Show. You don't get this stuff from anything but Renegade Radio.
be a happy-go-lucky guy, tell you a couple jokes, but I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off at T-Mobile, who I've been with for years, but when you call their customer support department, you're getting further and further away from the United States. They are a bunch of illiterate fucks on T-Mobile. Stupid people that barely understand English. And when they talk to you, it is like, oh, hello, Mr. Ray. Why are you calling? Please give me your name. What is your phone number? And give us the last four of your social. Thank you very much. So I misplaced my phone. Yeah, I'm pissed off. The $600 Samsung. I fucked up. I've never done anything like this in my life. Very frustrating. I call them up. They got a GPS, a deal, the lookout manager, right? The GPS. This guy says to me, I'm sorry, I think it is done by Southern Avenue. I said, Southern Avenue is 50 fucking miles long. Give me the GPS coordinates if you found my phone. Oh, it just says Southern Avenue. I'm thinking, okay, well, that's one thing I'm going to stop fucking paying for, right? Then I can't get into my profile on my internet because I locked myself out. The girl says, well, you locked yourself out. I said, no shit. Send me an email. Change my password. Okay, I will send a new password change to your phone. Douchebag. I've lost my phone. I've misplaced my phone. Maybe my phone was stolen. I can't do that. That is why we don't send it to the email. We must send it to your phone. Now I'm really pissed off. How many of you have had an issue with fucking T-Mobile like this before? I am so sorry, Mr. Ray, to help you. That we cannot help you like this. Let me get this right. You would like to GPS your phone, and you don't have your phone, correct? Oh my fucking God. Don't cry, Mr. Ray. We will help you best we can. T-Mobile. For those of you that don't fucking know, the T stands for tard. It is tard. T-A-R-D, tard. Fuck you, T-Mobile.
Straight Talk's the same way. Straight Talk is the same way.
Yeah, I mean, they can be kind of mean too. Well, Verizon too can be that way sometimes. So it's like when I had Verizon, sometimes they're nice to me, sometimes they weren't. I don't know what their problem is, when it comes to people and their customer service.
It gets lost. It gets lost in translation. You're telling them, okay, this is the issue I have with my phone. I put on a new card, and the card includes mobile data. And one of the main reasons I buy the card I buy is so that I have the mobile data so I can use it, well, at the time for my old laptop.
Sure.
Well, it says here that you've exceeded your mobile data limit. And I was like, yeah, 2 days ago I did. Yesterday I put a new card in and it put the minutes on my phone, but I don't have the mobile data. Well, yes, ma'am, but it says here that you exceeded your usage. I'm like, I haven't used it at all since I put the new phone card on. It hasn't been there. Well, ma'am, it says here that you have used it. Has there been another device had access? I said, I haven't been able to turn my hotspot on since I put this phone card.
Sounds pretty frustrating anyway.
What hotspot are you talking about?
Well, she's talking about Straight Talk, I think. She had problems with Straight Talk a while back ago.
He's talking about her hotspot.
Yeah.
I don't have any hotspots right now. It's too fucking cold.
Oh, jeez.
That's what you kids are calling it nowadays.
Yeah, what's going on, Antique Man? Welcome to the show.
Well, I can't get the lighting right, It's just reflection off the eyeglasses.
Right.
I need to get it. I got to get it like Lance's.
Yeah.
It's the same with mine.
Oh, no, it's over there.
Yeah, but it looks like it's from above you, almost like the way it looks.
Yeah.
But then when you turn your head, then you turn more orange and all that. So like you have jaundice or something.
They're the worst thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Antique Man
Man looks like Jesus.
He is Jesus.
Nazareth. I'm sorry, I didn't do it.
From afar, he looks like Nature Boy Ric Flair. So we
Okay,
can do
wait. You walked into it when I was a kid, about 14. I chased my neighborhood friend around the house, and his mom, or he opened up the front door real fast, and my hand went through the window of the door, and she stood there and she said, "Way to go, Adams." Jesus, I mean.
Well, isn't that when you were? That messed you up pretty good though, because I think you said that story. Weren't you playing piano or something at that time, and you couldn't for a while, or
That
drums,
no,
or am I wrong?
It wasn't me. I wasn't playing piano at that time.
He's playing the mill organ.
Well, I thought you had said you got hurt and you couldn't play for a while, and I thought that was why. When you were young.
Yeah, I probably couldn't play outside or something, but I was
You can always play
playing the drums at the time, not a keyboard. But that was probably.
Well, then maybe it was the drums.
I think so.
Because I remember understanding. Yeah.
Anyway, shit happens.
Yeah.
How's everybody?
Oh, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. How are you doing there?
Doing fine. Got a little cold in Texas today. Everybody was complaining because it was 20 degrees out. It's minus 20 in Macintosh.
Yep.
Thank you.
Not counting wind chill.
Not counting wind
Negative
chill.
21 actually, but
Yeah, here in Brooks, it's about negative. Yeah, it's about negative 23 right now. Or here in Brooks, anyway.
It's only 8
degrees in Ohio.
18 below here.
8 degrees in Ohio.
But it's going to get down to 20.
Pretty cold
it's
in
so
Ohio.
cold.
Anyway.
It's 20 degrees. Oh, you poor thing.
I can't wait till Saturday. It's 31. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm sitting at 42.
Oh,
we're at a minus.
At least you can pee outside without it becoming half of a golden arch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I could, I'd be out there.
We might hit 30 above by Friday.
Yeah, man, that would be all right. That would be great. That would be great.
I mean, I know it sounds really stupid, but what's that like to deal with living in? I mean, obviously you're not outside all the time, but just from getting from point A to point B, is it, I mean, I know you get used to it, but I mean, does it just suck?
Totally.
Well,
yeah.
Depends. If you have a garage that you can park in, it's not as bad.
Well, okay, here's how it is at my house. I live out of town. I'm on an old golf course that's no longer a golf course, and we have the river that we're on like a peninsula. I could actually hunt deer on my property, but it only takes me 5 minutes to drive to town and get to a liquor store. But my driveway from my house is just about a half mile long. So anytime something comes through, like just did this last weekend, all of that has to be cleaned out. And we had 50-mile-an-hour winds, and that stuff was 3 feet deep, and it was as hard as concrete. And so you're constantly moving snow. As far as the garage goes, I've got a 2.5 stall garage, but I don't park my vehicle in there. My wife does. I'd rather have my four-wheeler that's got my plow on it or my boat in there, depending on the season.
Right.
Because it's just that much easier. I have a big four-wheeler, and I keep with a snow plow on it. I back it in the one side, and so I just open up the garage door and start moving snow. And that's just like 2 years ago, it was probably 2 or 3 times a week, almost all winter long. This year, it's only been about maybe 7 times so far. So, but it sucks, and that's just to get out, to go to work.
Yeah, right.
So it does suck. You got to let your car run for 20 minutes before you get in it. It's so fucking cold. You're by rights, you should be able to start your car and keep it in neutral because it warms up your transmission quicker. You can let your car warm up all you want, but that transmission still needs to warm up a little bit, and that doesn't happen until you start. You got to have it in neutral so things start to spin, and so it's diesels are really tough around here. I mean, the new diesels are a lot better, but yeah, it's everything. It sucks. Shit breaks quicker. Cold just it kills things.
So what he's trying to say in a nutshell, just come move over here to Minnesota. You'd love it. It'd be great.
Come for a visit. So
Yeah,
it really sucks when you have a disease that causes you physical pain all day, every day, and then the cold amplifies it. So, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this to you guys. Not just the fibromyalgia that causes physical pain from top to bottom all day, every day, with a bunch of other lovely symptoms. But I was just diagnosed with arthritis in my hips too.
Oh wow! You got the whole.
Yeah,
package.
because constant physical pain is just not enough. Let's throw some arthritis on there too. Make me feel real old. So then I cut and dyed my hair a few days ago, and I feel a little bit better.
Well, you make a great.
I've
day.
had arthritis for 10 years.
I've had that. Look at my hands.
Anybody help me out there?
Well, I'm glad that
you have to die. Sorry.
I'm glad that you brought that up there, Sam, because I actually have a segment for us today that I thought about thanks to some coworkers at my job that we talked. We were, actually, they had kind of helped me with this segment, and it's about pickup lines like that. But we were looking up for pickup lines.
Pickup lines.
Well, it's Valentine's Day around the corner.
When you come out here, when you come out this year, we're going somewhere, and you're going to try that.
Okay, sure. And then if it don't work, I'll say it's your idea.
You mean come out to Seattle? I thought you meant out of the closet.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be next week's episode.
Resolution?
My back would have rainbows and stuff in the background, pride flags and everything. Anyway, we were talking about pickup lines, and with Valentine's Day around the corner, who doesn't love to be sorted with pickup lines? I'm sure even as
I got a pickup line for you.
Well, let me go through a couple of these here, and just to see if these kind of work. Maybe I could try my Mama T and see what she see what happens, right? But let's define what a pickup line is first, right? All right, like a dirty pickup line, just so you guys have an idea. A dirty pickup line is one that implies seeking physical contact from kissing to getting under the sheets. The lines allow individuals to test the waters and determine if the recipient is also on the same page, ready, willing, and able. So, are there anybody in here ready, willing, and able? No, not at all. All right, fine.
For
Just
what?
me, I guess.
I'm hoping I get nothing tonight, not from you.
Oh yeah,
for the pickup line.
Here's some pickup lines to make you a woman, okay? And you can try these even as a married couple, because I'm sure this will work. And I'm sure you guys do this all the time anyway. Here's the first one. Don't forget my name because you'll be screaming it tonight. Huh?
No.
Come on, Can I help loosen your belt? It looks really tight.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think that's first initial O.
Let's see. Your sweater is made of 100% boyfriend material. It looks great on you.
Oh my God!
If I could change the alphabet, I put you and I together.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
Come on, give me a break.
Here's one that's great. I'm not a weatherman, but you can expect more than a few inches tonight.
Oh God,
that's a good one.
Yeah. All right.
It'll melt off before morning.
All right. So how about this one? Here's the lines you say to a guy, I guess. If you're going that direction. Would you like to go out to dinner sometime, or should we just go to my room and skip right to dessert?
Yeah, that was.
I'm not a photographer, but I can definitely picture us together.
Oh.
Is that a lump in your pants, or are you glad to see me?
I'm not wearing any underwear. Can I offer you a receipt? Oh boy. Let's see. Do you have a Band-Aid? I just scraped my knee falling for you.
Oh.
All right,
Is this
fine.
cheesy list from Wisconsin or what?
That's funny. If you were a fruit, you'd be a pineapple.
These must be for younger people because when I'm in Walmart and I meet somebody, I say, "Would you like to go pick out Depends together?"
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Stop crashing into my basket, would you?
Get off my lawn!
Excuse
I
you.
got one for you. I actually have 3.
Okay.
I got 3 pretty good ones.
Okay.
I'll be a bag of chips if you'll be a battery. I'm free to lay if you're ever ready. So you are so hot. You are SMKING. We'll save the O for later. And if you're a guy in a crowded bar and a woman walks up for a drink, oh, there's no place to sit here. Let me clear a spot for you.
Yeah. This space seats 5.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
right.
And the problem is
Mine
if
are
any
way
of
better than
these
yours.
work.
Any of these work.
Wow.
The battery one worked for me once.
I
Here's
had
some
a
more.
shirt that says mustache rides for free.
Yeah, it depends on how hairy your face is.
Your beard seems a little dry. Do you need some lubrication?
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Here's some more. Gross. More, so we don't get off topic here. Are you a magician? Because whenever I look at you, everyone else disappears.
That's a good one.
Let's see. Do you have a name, or can I call you mine?
Oh, these are so
All right.
sweet.
All right, fine. Here's to you, Eric, and all the old people in the bunch here. You better call Life's Alert because I have fallen and can't get up.
Oh,
Why would she want to go out with you if you can't get up?
yeah. Get it up.
All right. How about some sexy ones here? I must be a snowflake because I've fallen for you.
Okay.
This isn't a beer belly. It's a fuel tank full of love, or for a love machine. I'll read that in. This isn't a beer belly. It's a fuel tank for a love machine.
So, Frankie, how single are you?
Oh, as single as you can believe, man. I haven't been with anybody since my South Dakota days.
So your hands are soft.
Sex with 4 people is called a foursome. Sex with 3 people is called a threesome. I understand now why they call you handsome.
Oh, God.
Oh, I saw the greatest one today. This woman walks up to her man and she's like, "Hold your hand like this." So she's like, "No, not a fist bump. Hold your hand like this. Hold your hand like this." He says, "Okay." She pours her beer into his hand. She says, "I'm just warming up your girlfriend for later because Mama's tired."
And that's where we'll end that segment, I guess. So there you go. There's some turny pickup lines for you.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks everybody for participating. Well, here's a clip of somebody who whose husband always likes to talk a little filthy to her.
It's been a minute since I've done an inappropriate husband story. So here are some lovely things he said to me while I'm making dinner. I'm standing over the stove the other day and he says, "What are you making?" Pretty obvious that I'm making spaghetti and meatballs. He goes, "Oh, I thought maybe you were going to sit on the stove and warm my meal up." Another day when we were having leftovers, I asked him which thing he was going to eat. And he said, "I'm eating some fish fillet tonight. We don't eat seafood," and ew. Another classic, "I didn't know beaver was on the menu." I cannot. Yesterday on Taco Tuesday, he said he likes his tacos bearded. And when I was making Italian beef the other day, he said this one to me. "Italian beef? I was hoping you'd have roast beef. I should have stopped at the store to get some bread for a roast beef sandwich." It doesn't matter what I'm doing. You will always find something inappropriate or dirty or disgusting to say to me. It never ends.
So is that the type of relationships you guys have with your couples? going deeper into some dirt.
So there's this couple. I just put it on the group page. Tara and Brian Ball, and her husband's a little bit conservative, and the page is like basically a bunch of clips of her horrifying her husband with dirty pickup lines. So I figured I'd throw that in just because she horrifies her husband with dirty pickup lines.
Oh.
And she'll like start saying something, and he'll be like, "What?" And then she'll get the punchline, and he's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And his face will turn red. It's the best. It's the best thing ever.
Well,
I say whatever works.
So, hey, by the way, we might be able to get back on YouTube now. He just signed an executive order. No more censoring. No more censoring. Just signed it like 2 minutes ago. We might get back on YouTube at GFBS.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's I was wondering what happened to the YouTube account. I thought because I had some episodes that had some copyright material in it, and I thought, oh, that's probably going to get us flagged.
We talked about a satanic Christmas display at the state capitol down in Minneapolis, and we had been in YouTube jail before, and this was it. They flagged us for doing a story on that, and or talking about it on a show, and that banned us for life. A show about a satanic Christmas display at the state capitol.
Wow!
So yeah. Don't tell me that's not censorship right there. My God,
that's crazy.
But
well. I mean, that's now we're under new leadership now, so hopefully all the things that were promised will happen without getting too political. Because I knew that we'd talk about it because I mean, it is an important day today. That's for sure. But did anybody actually watch the inauguration? No.
I watched some of it. I did watch some of it. Yeah.
Some of these guys remind me of remember in the movie Outlaw Josie Wales, the guy with the ferry boat. Yeah. He sings one song going over and the other song coming back. These guys were all singing one song, and then today came, and now they're all singing the other song.
Now they're singing a Yankee song.
It's hilarious to watch them all switch sides now.
My 11 o'clock show tomorrow is going to be just crazy. I mean, I'm just, as soon as I'm done here, I'm probably going to have to start looking at stuff because he's already signed a shit ton of executive orders and things are going to change and who knows. But I'm so not ready to do the show because I got one show to do before I go on vacation. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy day tomorrow in our world.
I think he needs to figure out the one group he wants to piss off the most and make me in charge of that group.
That's the Democrats.
Okay, put me in there. I'll piss them off. I got no problem with that. Opinionated Marine, look, I'm right there.
There you go. There you go. Well, there's a video that I just discovered here while we were talking and whatnot about, we're talking about Valentine's Day and whatnot, and I found it here or was given it to me, or somebody gave it to me. So I'm gonna share it in our little deal here. Let's see what this is all about. I haven't looked at it at all ahead of time, so we'll see what type of surprise we're in for.
Hello, everybody. This is John Lutz, aka Screaming Sam. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day. I mean, if you love your wife, every day should be Valentine's Day. That's how I look at it. I just don't believe in the money-making deal that goes on. There are a bunch of pussies out there that maybe made their wife mad. I have to buy her flowers and candy. Well, I happened to be at the drugstore today, and I found out, guys, the next day you could buy Valentine's candy like under half. Under half. So, I'm not. All right, while I was there, I bought this candy because it was cheap. It was real cheap. And it's only 4 pieces of candy in it. The problem was I ate the candy on the way home. Gone. Now I feel bad. So I was trying to think, I feel bad. I want to give her something, maybe. And even though she might not look at it. So I found these around the house. A bag of Halls, cough drops. Work, perfect colors. They fit in the slots pretty good. See? See, guys? No, by the time she opens this, I'll be down in the garage working. I won't hear her screaming. But anyway, put this on. Listen. Sounds like candy. Well, I was smart enough to save the baggage, the plastic it came in. So you take the plastic and you slowly work it on the candy. Try and make it as neat as possible. It is the day after Valentine's Day, after all. Okay? Get some tape. Can't tell. It's beautiful. She'll be happy. Hey, she had a cold last week, so show it. Maybe appreciate the Hall's menthol relief fucking cough drops. So she has me. She don't need candy. But they were good. I might go buy another box. Have a nice day. And I don't want to say happy Valentine's Day because I don't believe that shit. Happy happy next day after Valentine's Day.
That's a good one.
That was awesome. Yeah, cool. I appreciate him.
Well, there you go. You're thinking anyway. See, I never saw that video before, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if he was going to go crazy and rambunctious or just.
Well, and what would be wrong going and buying the stuff the day after and then hanging on to it till the following year?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man. One for yourself right then.
It does take a while for jobs to expire.
Yeah,
there is. They say okay. The expiration dates on everything are made up dates. They're just the safest possible date that you can possibly think of. You can still drink milk. Well, don't eat it because then it's way past expiration. But a day or two after, as long as it still smells good, you can still drink it. That doesn't mean you're going to die if it goes past the expiration date. With chocolate, is sometimes they do repackage it, and it doesn't. Chocolate will go a year or two after its original expiration date, but
Don't
they
tell
do
my brother that.
repackage it. So the way you can tell is if it's got a white film on it. If chocolate has a white film on it, then you know it's way past.
I call it white chocolate.
Or you just got excited while you were buying it.
That's right.
Even if it's a day late, it's still the thought that counts, so right?
Right?
I'll stick it in the freezer.
I'll drink to that.
Hey, even if it says expires on December of 24, he'll just scratch the 24 off of it.
That's all.
Just draw a little 5 over the top of it.
Yep.
Well, I used to break up with her like the day before Christmas, so I wouldn't have to buy her nothing. And then make up with her the day after Christmas.
Yeah, most of those dates are bullshit because you got something like that Himalayan salt that's, prehistoric Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look, I bought it before the expiration date. Thank God.
Yeah, and then you ever see they have them 100-year-old eggs that the Chinese people eat? And then they have an expiration date on ours? What the hell? They can eat a 100-year-old egg.
Well, I know.
Why can't we eat one that's 3 days old over expiration date? Yeah.
When we go to Europe, we always usually bring chocolate home, and you could that stuff lasts. You can keep that pretty good if you keep it sealed.
Yeah, I had a wife who used to throw everything out at the sell date or the best buy, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, well, it expires tomorrow. I said, no, it says it's best if used by tomorrow.
Yep. And it depends on if it's even been opened yet. You know,
It's
that
not like
makes a huge
at
difference.
12:01 you're going to go, oh, this shit went bad.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here while we continue with more Renegade Radio. So now's the time for bathroom breaks. We're going to be getting our guests here on here pretty soon. Joe Ray, he'll be on. So if you guys need to take a bathroom break real quick or whatever, now's the time to do it. And we'll be right back with some more Renegade Radio right here on StreamYard and Facebook and all the platforms.
It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult, and veterans are absolutely free. There's going to be a raffle with $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. Get your tickets by calling Scott at 406-899-5247 or Timothy at 701-739-1605 or go to rrvmnd.org. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Diane says Executive Properties did a roof project and remodeled a bathroom in our house. We were happy with their quality of work, and the projects were completed in a timely manner. We will use Executive Properties for our next home project. Get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273.
My buddy been here, gone too soon, but the memories flare. In 54 to 24, his soul declared. Now pilot stop, I just stand and stare. I was called, I'll start back in 14, yeah. Radio waves, our voices careen. We spun our dreams, life was serene. Became my brother, our bond was clean. We lived the fast lane, truck stops to shows. Showered every mile, counting highs and lows. Through the static years, spoke of brighter tomorrows. Our laughter bounced off semi-truck windows and smoky old cabins. Our stories would grow, felt invincible, rolling where the cold winds blow.
Been here, my brother, where'd you roam? Your memories a highway we once called home. From Pilot's glow in December snow, we rode the waves of rapid fire radio. In 24, the world grew colder, without your shadow walking shoulder to shoulder.
My heart's heavy with the weight of dust. Passing trucks, they whisper like the voice of us. In diesel dreams, you're still on the mic, crackling through the speakers on a starless night. We were kings of asphalt, truth and myth. Our tales bold, our spirits lift.
But now you're riding past that golden shore. Let me hear wanting just one moment more. Been her, your echo fills the room. A legend lost, moan out of rules.
Crossbacks rare, man, we had the rhythm, a cadence that's rare. Life's road was rugged, but we didn't care. From pilot's lights to midnight prayers, two souls in tune like a perfect snare. Then the night of 94 hit us unaware. Lost my brother, the burden I bear. Echoes of your laughter filling the air. Every mile I drive, feel you everywhere.
Been here, my brother, you left a hole
Without my wingman, the silence takes hold. In the booth we sat and the world would spin. Now every static crackle brings you back again. Our rapid fire radio, now silent within. I pour one out for you, let the memories begin. Ben Hur, you cowboy, you rode through the storm. Our brotherhood's treasure, a bond was born.
You don't get this stuff from Howard Stern Show. You don't get this stuff from anything but Renegade Radio.
Back here with some more Renegade Radio right here on StreamYard and on Facebook and YouTube and anywhere where we're broadcasting live, I guess. What's going on, everybody? Another half an hour, or probably about 20 minutes, actually, we should be getting to our guest, Joe Ray. Now, last week we had on Ahmed Johnson and Dennis McNulty, and did you guys enjoy the interviews that we did with those guys?
Yeah,
that were on here.
Yeah, that was a good time.
You learned anything at all from Ahmed that you didn't know before, from his Federation days and everything?
Yeah, it was pretty
good.
Reality.
Stories.
Reality.
Yeah, definitely.
A little reality check there.
Yeah, and then Dennis, I was surprised. I was surprised that he whipped out his guitar for and sang for us and stuff. Now I don't think Joe will do that tonight, but. Joe is more of he's an independent actor and radio host. He does some stuff out of, I think it's either New Jersey or Pittsburgh or somewhere in the eastern area anyway. He has a radio show, a syndicated radio show. And then he's also a teacher. So very, very fun guy. I can't wait to have you guys hear or talk to him.
Did you just call him a mushroom?
Yes, I said fun guy. Yeah. Only you would pick out the mushroom humor, right?
You say you're a mushroom?
That's what the female mushroom said to the male mushroom. Gee, you're a fun guy.
Jeepers. You guys and your humor, I tell you. That's right. Well, John Roberts, yesterday, or it was either yesterday or what, Saturday, you were out in North Dakota doing a sled thing or like another race or a benefit or something going on. Why don't you tell the viewers what you were up to?
It was a vintage snowmobile ride and show. Collecting snowmobiles is a big deal around here. Back in the day, there was like 70 manufacturers of snowmobiles. Well, for the last 30 years, there's only been 4. As of 2025, it's going to be down to 2 manufacturers. And 2 of these that have been around since day one are within an hour of each other, the cities up here. So it's a big deal. But we did a show we were up in north of Grand Forks this last weekend. And then the week before, we were south in Reynolds for another show. And then the day after I get back from vacation, I'm the media judge at another show here in East Grand Forks. So I started racing snowmobiles in 1971. And so I've been around them for a long, long time. And I had some vintage stuff, but I'm too beat up to ride anymore. And so I kind of got rid of it. But I still like to kind of stay involved with it. So it's a fun way to do it. You go out, you look at sleds and watch them do loud pipe and do some footage following them along the highways or whatever. And And otherwise you're sitting in the bar, just
but you were doing it
reports
when it
and
was
stuff. So
you
it's
were doing it
a
when it
fun
was
way to spend the day.
you were doing it when it was cold outside though. I mean that's when it was starting to get really cold outside.
It was fucking freezing out. Yeah. It was freezing out in the street for the loud pipe competition. And I got this big fur bomber hat on but you know what? It's not the loud pipe I like, it's the smell. It's the smell of the fuel and the mixed gas and the Klotz racing oil and I love it.
I love the loud pipe. I just don't like the smell of it.
I ain't never come to visit. I ain't never come to visit Minnesota in the
I've
winter.
been to the races before. You guys always think I'm talking dirty.
You are half the time.
I'm never coming to Minnesota in the winter because John will make us do all the outside stuff.
Yeah,
he'll probably make
I don't like
us
doing
plow his
outside
driveway
stuff
in the morning.
So, John, is it
I don't like doing outside stuff.
They have to go outside when it's
I have
cold. That's the only time there's no mosquitoes.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. See, I grew up in Thief River Falls, Antique Man, and that's where they make Arctic Cats.
Yeah.
Well, then you go an hour or so north of that in Roseau, Minnesota, is where they make Polaris. And then, of course, Skidoo is a Bombardier or Bombardier made in Canada. And then Yamaha, which is made in Japan. Well, Yamaha is ceasing after 2025, and now Arctic Cat closed down. But I heard there's talks about new buyers for Arctic Cat, but it's turned the snowmobile racing industry upside down because the racing industry is the R&D for new, for new sleds, and what they're doing is the research and development of these teams with all their money. But there's a different company that picked up all the slack, so they're still running them, and who knows? Hopefully somebody will buy them out because I got a lot of friends that have worked there for 30 plus years, and I hate to see them lose their jobs. I just talked to one of them 2 days ago, and he just went back to work. So
yeah, I think they're still in. I think there's a couple of departments that are still opening, like sales, marketing. But I worked for both of those companies, and I was fiercely loyal to both of them. I grew up in Roseau, so I worked at Polaris.
I know. I worked there back in the day. Yeah, but they still have some side-by-sides to build. They still have some sleds to build. They have to meet their obligations for 2025. And that's the thing, the way the business has changed. Back in the day when I was racing Arctic Cats, there were thousands of them. I mean, you only had to have a resume at one time back in the late 70s and early 80s. All you needed was a resume, and they'd give you a snowmobile to go race. They had now it's not that way. The sleds are made on order, for the season. So they've got to fulfill their 2025 obligations. So there are still some things that need to be built. But then hopefully somebody buys them out. I mean, or buys it and gets them back going again. This happened in the early 80s, where Arctic Cat was shut down for about 2 years, and then some new ownership came in, and it just blew up again and was really nice, but really going good. But it only takes 1 or 2 bad winters,
Yeah.
Polaris has got so many military contracts that they can keep going.
It's not just that.
And that's good for them.
So when Textron took over, they're all about the money. So their target market was rich people. So they were just looking at what the rich people wanted. And that left everybody else out that loved this brand and were faithful to this brand. And then all of a sudden they couldn't afford it, and the stuff they wanted wasn't being created or improved upon because, you know what? We don't care about you guys. Hopefully somebody takes it over that actually gives a shit about the true fans of Arctic Cat machines.
Yep. Listen to the people that buy the sleds. Don't build sleds for who you want to buy your sleds. That's why Polaris is doing well. Polaris does really well with their side-by-side stuff, though, and their four-wheelers. And the military, I mean, they make a good product. For me, I'm ditch pickle. I mean, I'm ditch pickle green. I'm an Arctic Cat guy. I have been my entire life. It'd be like driving a Ford. I can't do it. But they make really, really good machinery. They do a really nice job. It's like right now, if you were to go buy a brand new pickup, you could buy a GM, a Chevy, a Ford, a Dodge, or a Toyota, or whatever. If you buy a brand new one, they're all really, really nice, you know. But snowmobiles are getting ridiculous. They shouldn't cost $20,000, especially when you have a year like last year where you can't even drive them.
Yeah, I understand. I have a snowblower in my cellar for 4 years now. I think I used it once. We used to have a lot of snow in Pittsburgh. We get it once a year and maybe one good snow a year.
Not outside.
I got three Polarises. They're okay. I like them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
I still have an Arctic Cat, big four-wheeler, 2-upper.
I got a Yamaha, three Polarises, and my side-by-side looks like a truck. It's a Cushman, four-wheel drive, and it's got
yeah.
Yep. I mean, this thing's huge.
Yep, dump box on it. Yeah.
Huh?
Big old dump box.
Got a dump box on it.
Yeah. This thing's huge.
Hey, Mr. Ray is here.
Hey, we got company.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Talk nice now, you know. What's going on here, Joe? Welcome to Renegade Radio, your official debut on the show tonight.
Well, thank you. I spent. I've been working on my septic tank off and on for about 2 weeks.
Oh boy!
Great job.
Yeah, literally. And it's even worse when today I was at the edge, filling in the gravel, and the edge of the grass gave way, and I kind of fell in. And, yeah.
Oh no!
City landing.
You fell in the shithole.
So I was supposed to go work out, and then I hurt my ankle, and I'm good. I'm just.
Oh man!
I'm like, you know what? Hot shower here. I'm done. I am done. So.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I like your background.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, and hopefully they'll go all the way. I mean, who knows? You know, it's hard to say, but it was kind of a surprise, I guess, this weekend. Huh?
Yeah. It would have been a Ravens background, but they dropped the ball. So.
Yeah. They did. It would have been.
Well, Joe, let us tell you a little bit about ourselves. We have Lance Warlock here, who, as it says on the bottom there, he's an independent film and media composer. I have Mad Dog.
Hey.
I have Mad Dog, who's here. And he's a former professional wrestler from the Pittsburgh area.
Nice.
I got the legendary Screamin' Sam, who was a Sam Kinison tribute artist, but he's done so much more in his life than just that. But we like him to use the Screamin' Sam character because that just makes him look so unique.
Plus, I own it. I own that name.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense, right?
Because back in the day, about 25 years ago, he literally looked like Sam Kinison, and I mean, you would have thought that he was still alive. That's his picture right there.
Yeah, I was in college freshman year when he passed away. So yeah, I watched him.
Yeah.
And I was, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about his joke today that if you want food, go where there's food.
This is sand.
Yeah, there's no food.
And then we got Mama T. She hosts the Buzz every Sunday and Tuesday on Facebook and Grand Forks Best Source. And they got John Roberts, the host, or the king of cool, we'll call him, Mr. John Roberts. He owns Grand Forks Best Source, and he's a legendary radio band. Antique Man, he's a singer from Texas, well, from South Dakota, Dakotas originally, but lives out in Texas. And we call him Antique Man because that's just an old joke.
I thought he was just sings the oldies, I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, he does.
Senior citizen.
And then we got, last but certainly not least, we got DJ Ken Heath, and While he's not just your average DJ, he's also not your average person because his uncle was Wolfman Jack. So,
yes, indeed.
And there you go.
And last but certainly not least, yes, I think I outweigh all of you and some of you added together.
All right.
And of course, me. I can reintroduce myself, but I'm just according to this week's deal, I'm the master dubator. So I'm the that's just a little dubator for the as a CEO and founder of Renegade Radio here. So
all right.
So we're honored to have you there, Joe, and tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of like your just kind of like your roots, and just how you got to be where you are in life, I guess we'll say.
Oh, that's a long whooping. Oh no, I'm kidding. It's
Long
it's a
whooping.
long whooping story, but yeah, no, many of them anyway. No, I was born in Maryland. I'm the oldest of four from my dad's second marriage. For my mother, I'm the oldest of four, and there's a second of five. But grew up. My dad was a brick mason. He built houses and instilled a strong work ethic in us. And we just, grew up as a newspaper boy, delivering newspapers. Actually got started in that with my brother. My middle brother actually got the job, and he needed help. So we're like, okay, we'll join you, and did that for a couple years, about 3 years. And just grew up in sports and so forth. And actually, I wanted to be a baseball player, and but then my grades weren't that great. And then I wanted to be a aerospace engineer, and then of course my grades weren't that great. and then, there's a pattern here. And now I'm a teacher, right? That's weird. It's weird. And so my kids are like, wow. But no,
you sound like you had a very similar background than I did growing up. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So then I got into McDonald's, working for them, and then somewhere along the way,
that's how I got my radio start.
Really, McDonald's? But they actually asked me to, back when I was, we'd be like, we're on the headsets. They were like, "Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you?" And they're like, "Why aren't you on the radio?" I said, "I'm on the headset radio every day." I mean, back in the early '90s, I didn't know how to get into anything. I was just trudging, But then I went to McDonald's, and then that didn't work out because I didn't date the boss's daughter. So I wasn't engaged. Anyway, that's a true story.
That is so funny because I went into radio back in like 1982. I went to school for it in 83, and was working full time at the end of 83 or 84. But during high school in the city I grew up in, McDonald's was one of the only places somebody my age could work and still be a jock. So right. I'd work when I can during school, and then I'd work as much as I can in the summer. Thank you. And I did everything from cooking to working the tills to even maintenance, where you go in at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night. But that's how I tell people I got my radio start, was working the drive-through. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please? And that's funny because that, ma'am? Yeah, they're the exact same story. And then when I was in college for radio and television, I quit McDonald's to work sound for a rock band while I was going to school, and that was. But I did 3 years of McDonald's, hard time growing up. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
My sentence was a little longer. I did 12.
Instead of a teardrop, he's got a little cheeseburger.
No, wow. It's because in the 90s that was the bills that paid the bills. It was actually but I didn't know everything that I know today, but obviously, it paid the bills, and I got free food every day because I was a manager, so it worked out. So I didn't go up to 300 pounds for nothing.
Well, I tried burgers on a 10-cent hamburger day one time. Did 1,200 of them in, I think, 3 hours.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's days when we had specials. Like, I mean, I was around in the 80s, not to give you all too much history, but 86, I was around the days of McDLT, when they when they were like they were on sale for 99 cents, and that's back when you were burger flippers. We had to flip them and sear them and all that mess. And I got so ticked off one night. I was like, you know what? They didn't give me a break, so I made a McDLT, hit it on the desk on the dress table underneath all the styrofoam, and walked out. When I was done, I was like, y'all didn't break me. I was like, I'm eating. And then, but then just so when I found out that I wasn't going to be, well, actually after college, I actually taught kindergarten for 2 years in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I lived in a church behind the left speaker, and it was kind of a parallel to a kindergarten cop kind of situation, because it was only a couple years after Kindergarten Cop came out, and when I walked on the street, I didn't know it, but 3 days before I got there, okay, you can call this ominous if you want. My first day in Jersey City was 9/11/93. So that's yeah. 7 months after the first World Tower bombing, and so I walked down the street, and I know I'm the only white guy in the neighborhood. Of course, I found it out real quick. I was the only white guy in the neighborhood, and I hear the salsa and the music playing in the merengue, and it was like, did you ever see the movie The Gauntlet with Clint Eastwood when he comes in with the bus, and he looks exactly that feel, and I looked up, and all the women were on this windowsills with their pillows, like Mira. I was like, I don't know Spanish. I mean, I know a little bit more now. It's like, but all the drug dealers, it was kind of like they hid in the shadows, like those creepy cartoons. They were like all the drug dealers were like looking, because here's this big white dude. But I didn't know that 3 days before I got there, the DEA did a drug bust on that neighborhood. And then, so while I was out, when I was the next week, I had my kindergarten class out there on the parking lot, because it was, it's inner city. To go outside, there's no playground. It is what it is. Or it is what it was. And the drug dealer, the main drug dealer, Charlie, he's like, "You're no drug dealer. You're too white." So I was like, it's like, thanks, Charlie. I'm glad you tell everybody that. Tell everybody. It's like, please, I'm a teacher. I work here at the church. I'm broke as crap. I got $6 extra left over every month. That's all I got. I'm good. But yeah, that was my tradition. And then I left. Then a couple years later, I went back to McDonald's in Pennsylvania, and then moved to Florida. And I've been teaching since 2000. So I've been here 25 years. And now
part of Florida?
I'm in I teach in Ocala. I'm in the center. I'm 90 minutes northwest of Orlando.
I lived in Tampa.
So yeah, I'm 90 minutes from Tampa. I'm like triangulated, so it's perfect.
I actually have a couple questions for you.
Go ahead.
Were you okay? First, you've got a production gig you're coming up with Meaner Girls. I want to hear about that, and I also want to know about your stint on Guiding Light.
What was the last one? My what?
Guiding Light.
What about it?
Isn't that a soap opera?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in 20-some years, but yeah.
Well, your IMDb said that you had some involvement in it at some point. Plus, Ozark, which is, I know IMDb is.
It's not correct.
Yeah.
Somebody's giving me credit, and I'll take it.
Okay, were you in Ozark?
I was in Ozark, season 2, episode 6, 50 minutes and 26 seconds in. So yeah.
The funeral scene.
The funeral scene, yeah. I was a mob guy.
I do want to know how you got that, but you are listed here as an actor, teacher, radio show host. Yes. But what this says is that Meaner Girls menopausal years, that you're going to be a producer on that.
Well, that actually filmed last summer. I was executive producer. What I found. Here's the secret, I guess. If you donate for the funding, you become an executive, or contribute, you become an executive producer. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, that it's change. Yeah, change makes change. All right, there you go. So, Ozark. The way I got that, I was taking training through John Casablanca down in Tampa, and the Tampa, Florida, and the manager said, and I just graduated from class, so a month later or 2 months after graduation, we get this post on an email, and it said, "Hey, they need people for Ozark," and I had heard about it. I was like, "What's this Ozark? Whatever." And so I put in for it, and I had a black and white picture of me sitting like this, like the Godfather, and and I was given a nice stern look, and they're like, "Perfect, you're in." And so I got that part. Went up to Atlanta, and some of the people on that show, the guys I was in the show in the 76 Lincoln. We all had 76 Lincoln Continentals. And there was there's this younger guy. He's about 30, and he's trying to turn on the heat. I'm like, bro, it's a 76 Lincoln. There's no heat. Just forget about it. so in the car with me were two guys who were former military and current MMA fighters. And the guy next to me, and you'll see me in Ozark in the funeral scene. I walk up with this guy who's bald head with shades on. He actually trained SWAT team in self-defense tactics. So I'm like, military, MMA, math. Okay, I can figure out how to shoot it, how far it's going to go. You guys just do it. Okay. So I was in good hands. But that's how I got it. And I was actually on season 3, episode 2 as well, in the casino scene where Laura Linney and the older lady were walking down the steps of the casino, and I just walk in and sit down at the slot machine. And of course, my brother said he couldn't see me. I was like, bro, I was 320 pounds. How'd you miss me? I got this big melon, So I was like, the melon, the belly. I turned. The chair is like this big. I'm twice as big as the chair. Come on, man. And but Jason Bateman was actually he directed season 3, or at least that episode, and he was really cool. He's really cool to work with. Laura Linney was
he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
I love him.
He's really one of my favorite actors. He really is. I've watched a lot of
Joe's
his
Apartment.
stuff.
I love Jason.
Yeah.
You guys remember Welcome to Joe's Apartment?
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, it's just like
Ozark.
Master Vader.
Carry On. You Carry On.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, intense.
I played in a porn movie. I played in a couple of porn movies.
Oh,
I was
well.
the husband that left to go to work in the morning.
Somebody's got to do it.
I don't have a comeback for that right now.
That happens a lot.
Most of us don't.
We leave a lot of people speechless.
Did you have like a union card then, or whatever they are?
I was always leaving the house. I never
I'm
got
that
one
guy.
from my wife.
Oh, brother. No, yeah, but yeah, some of those IMDb credits are like, some of them I go back and look at the early ones, and I was like, oh, I wish they hadn't put that on my IMDb, because it's one of those things where you show up and they don't tell you what you're doing until you get there, and they're like, oh no.
But it's money and you do it anyways. And there was a whole bunch of movies listed that I didn't recognize or never ever heard of.
A lot of independence. I got to actually the next one I'm shooting is, well, actually recently I was in Rekindled, which is a Hallmark Christmas movie. And yeah, it's cool. It was fun. We if they play
my wife ought to know you. She
look at you on Lifetime and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm the dad in the background dancing. If they play the B-roll bloopers, they played if they play the B-roll bloopers, there's the DJ played Wobble Baby.
Wobble Baby.
Yeah. I moved. I got some yeah, and of course there's guys, because when the film crew breaks out the cameras, you're like, uh-oh, just keep going. You just keep going. You're already caught. Just keep going. So,
just go with it. It's too late now.
It's a lot of fun. Got to dance. Actually, I was cast as an extra that day, and there was just some miscommunication, and they said, hey, can you be the dad? And I'm like, yeah. And they said, you got some lines. I'm like, oh, okay. And got to work with Chris Mulkey, who was he was a deputy on the first Rambo First Blood in 1981. And when I saw him, I went, "Oh wow, I know that guy." Yeah, I was like, "I know that guy." So, and but it's you see these guys, and they give you their story and tell you what they've been doing, and it's like get to meet these people, and then you see these young bucks on set, and you're like, "Please stop, just stop, whatever."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I played Babe Ruth and the Kid Who Only Hit Homers. That was that's on Amazon Prime right now for rent.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Now on Tubi,
You played Babe. Wait,
Babe Ruth.
You played Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
So
yeah.
So what do you teach?
I teach math, but this year I teach all personal finances. Teach kids how to not to be young, dumb, and broke. So.
Exactly.
Nice.
So
take that class.
Young, Dumb, and the other thing is a song.
Yes, Khalid.
You should teach that too, though, because there's too many
I know
children that are not.
Oh, I know.
They think with their little head.
I
not
graduated
their big
high
head.
school.
What's that?
I graduated from high school in 1983, and you remind me, like I said, a lot of me, but I was horrible math student. Horrible math. What were you a good math student in school?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, originally no. Originally, where it happened was second grade. It was like I was always in a hurry to be first on my writing, and I remember my teacher. I'd go to hand her my work, and she's like, and that's back when we printed, and she's like, "What's this?" She handed it back and said, "Do it again, do it again." So I was like, oh. And of course, finally, when I slowed down, she's like, "See, I didn't want to be wrong, you know." I was like, yeah, whatever. So one day we took I think it was like the February, it was 78, back in the blizzard, in the big blizzard. As a matter of fact, we took a math test, and I was the only kid who got 100 on the test because I took my time, figured it out, got 100 on the test. She said, "Mr. Ray, stand up." Pulls my chair back, and everybody gave me an applause. And I was like, well, that felt kind of cool. All right. So from then on, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn math. Now, my parents were great at it because my dad's he was a bricklayer, a mason. He figured out how to build, he built houses for a living. My mother played the lottery a lot, so she figured out numbers all the time. She was good with cash. She could handle money left and right. Yeah, she was good at money, but just bad at lottery.
You just picked the wrong numbers.
Always. Well, actually, my brother told me last year. Actually, I found out she won a lot more money than I thought, and I went, "Oh, she actually did break even." Okay, all right. So she broke even over life because she would always have. She was doing that. She was doing statistics and probability on the table, and she's looking for patterns. And I'm going, okay. So I'm looking at numbers, and of course, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna go play some baseball. I'm good. And then in third grade, we had a teacher who didn't give homework, but she also didn't take us to the level that we were supposed to be mathematically in class, because the third grade classes down the hall were learning long division. We didn't get past 12 times 12, 12 times 20, or just nothing 2-digit division or whatever. So this nerd, starting in March of third grade, stood up every Wednesday after lunch and said, "Miss Morlock, can I recite the powers of 21, the multiples, all the way up to 30?" So I did all the way up to 30, like a week after week. And she's like, "Go ahead." And of course,
you get beat up a lot growing up.
Huh? No.
I was just thinking that.
No, I'm 40-3. I'm 40-3.
Did you? Okay, you might not have got beat up, but did you have a lot of dates?
Later
After you stopped spouting off math figures?
Actually,
he's only talking like 5th grade so far.
Yeah, I sound like Rain Man. No, I had the.
There are 379 toothpicks.
But no, I had the same girlfriend basically through middle school off and on. She was a catcher for another team, and her dad was an umpire, and her mom was German.
What was his name?
His name was Junior Hennemeyer. not Adolf, not Himmler. But yeah, that's intense when you get around people from German. Mom was tough. She's like, Claudia. I was like, who? Yes. I was scared. You know, you walk in and go, and Dad was chill. Dad was cool. Like, hey, come over here. Let me teach you how to pitch right and whatever. I'm like, of course, my girlfriend was like, she didn't want to learn that. It was middle school, whatever. Our first date was E.T. Let's go back that far.
So did you try that scene on her then?
Negative.
You know, when they were dissecting they were dissecting the frog. Did you try the scene on her?
No, I did not. No. She was 6 inches taller than me, and she actually body slammed me.
And wasn't she 6 inches taller than Elliot? You had to step up on a stool to kiss her. That would have been the perfect scene.
Okay, well, let's go to November 1982. Yeah, maybe I did that. It was a French kiss with a German girl behind a Irish Catholic church. I figured I should be the UN ambassador by now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I can't. I got to. Yeah, it said I counted like I went in. It was like I went in, came out with a scar across my lip, but I got out and whatever. I got out with just a cut, so it was good. she had braces. So
got out with her.
Well, lucky it was just a kiss then.
Yeah.
The seventh grade. It was. Yeah, it was
seventh grade. Yeah.
Seventh grade. It was a cold winter night. No, I was kidding. There's a story for radio. It was a cold winter night in 1980.
Did you ever hear about drinking?
1977. I was in seventh grade.
Woo.
Yeah. You've been around for a while, though, John. We know.
Yeah. That winter of '78 was that blizzard for Maryland. We had a whole 2 weeks off of school, and it was crazy.
That's what it was in Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, but
78. I was only 4 years old.
Oh well.
I was getting out of high school.
Oh wow.
I was 20 years old.
Some of us.
I was in 1977. I was in seventh grade, and I saw my very first concert. It was Kiss and Uriah Heep. My mom wouldn't let me see Uriah Heep. They're the opening band, but it was the very first time I got to see Kiss, and I fell in love with them in seventh grade in 1977. There's my 70s story.
There you go. There you go.
So let me ask you a question there, Joe. And
yes,
this is kind of something that I commented on last week, and because it kind of brings up a funny subject with the fact that you've done radio and everything. But why is it that you still give off that Rick Dees vibe? Are you sure you're not a relative of his or anything? Because you kind of have that similarity, just in the way you look, the way you talk, the way your movements are and everything. Even when we did the interview, I was just like, I feel like I'm being interviewed by Rick Dees almost. I mean, why is that?
Practice. When I was at McDonald's, we were bored in the 80s, right? Welcome to the Jungle. I actually made up a song to Welcome to the Jungle. I called it Welcome to McDonald's. I mean, we were. I've got a whole. I've got 2 verses and a bridge. I'm good. One of these days, I'll
it does. Big Max is the game.
Yeah. No. I just practice when you're in the public spotlight. It's either you, and of course after teaching kindergarten, McDonald's, I worked at Walmart for 6 years. When you're in the public spotlight, you gotta have fun with life and teaching for 25. When I went into acting, they said, "Why do you want to be an actor?" I said, "I act every day. I act like I like kids. I still teach, right?" No, I do. I love teaching. I love the children. It's fun. They're just. If I could, we could make a sitcom like those old sitcoms. They're pretty much like What Happens in My Class. With like Welcome Back, Carter. I got some of that. I got that 5th period. I got some of the 80s but I 1 year I thought I had to. You want to go way back, the Blackboard Jungle with Sidney Poitier. I mean, have you ever seen that movie where he has a bunch of roughhouses in the class? I had a year of that. I was like, come on, man. So where I had to pick the kid up.
I got to
go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, but I wasn't the greatest student. I was in
Right.
school to be in sports. I only made the honor roll once in my life. It was my last semester of my senior year, and I only had 3 classes a day. But some of the biggest influences in my life were actually some of my teachers that I thought really gave a rat's ass, and some of my coaches. But how cool is it for you when a former student from 10, however many years before, comes up to you and says, "Hey," and comes up and talks to you? How cool is that for you?
It's usually
Because I'm sure they tell you if you made an impact on their life or not.
Yeah, they do. I had a month ago, right before Christmas. I was in the mall. I was actually just walking around, blowing off steam. I was bored. I was like, let me just go waste some time. And these 2 big black dudes walked up, and they're like, "Mr. Ray," and I'm like, "Uh-oh." They were former football players, kids, and they were actually one of the guys was actually I had broken up between a fight between him and another guy, and I said this in my interview with the interviews before. I said I'm standing between 2 guys 6'5" and 6'7", so it looks like an Oreo cookie trying to stop a fight. I'm like,
and depending on how big you were at the time, it could have been a double stuffed.
yes,
That's the white shit in the middle.
It was. I was 300. I was 280. Yeah, it was close to double stuff.
It was double stuffed.
Almost triple stuff right there. And I almost got dunked in some milk. So, but no, I stopped, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Ray," and because of that incident, it showed I care, because what it was is the other guy was kicking the one guy was kicking the other guy's cousin's notebook around campus and just kicking it up, and papers were going everywhere. And I stopped him from knocking him out. And I was like, "Look, do you want to go to jail or you want to go finish your high school diploma?" And so he's like, "Hey, Mr. Ray," from that one incident. That's the only time we ever talked while he was in school. And him and his buddy had a great conversation. But some kids come back, and I give a project every year at the end of the year where I make them do this 10-year budget by hand. They have to write it out. There's no typing because some of them cheat like dogs, and they copy and paste like crazy.
Yeah.
So I said, if you're going to cheat, I'm going to make it painful. So
write it out.
Yeah, they write it out. And so one kid comes back and goes, "Man, I'm still doing that project." And he graduated from college. So, but it's real fun. What's even crazier is I'm officiating a wedding on Saturday of a brother of a former student. So I'm officiating weddings. They're coming to me for financial advice because I've taught finances and I connect them with people. And so it's good to see adulthood in action. And but on the flip side,
I officiate weddings too.
There you go.
Me too.
I just did one 2 weeks ago.
I just became ordained
3 weeks ago.
and I just became ordained, and the couple that made me want to become ordained, they were like, "I want you to stay in our wedding, but no, wait, we want you to be the photographer." And then they're like, "No, wait, we want you to officiate our wedding." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Wait a second."
Yeah, I've married.
Okay,
my
I'm
own
ordained.
kids.
Okay, now
I've
what?
married a whole
And I'm
bunch of
looking
people.
at all this stuff, and it says, "Oh, the premarital counseling stuff." Well, they have a little.
I even got ordained in the Church of Dudology. It's based on the teachings of Lebowski. Seriously,
Man, that's the man right
it's
there.
recognized. It's legit.
Sure.
Yeah, and I've done everything from them right out in the front in the lobby area of our mall, in the commons area, right out in front of my studio, where they were dressed in Minnesota Vikings colors, to the one I just did a couple of weeks ago was at this fancy downtown motel where they actually have the door guys and with the trench coats on, and it's pretty fancy. So I've done a few. I got another one coming up in Duluth in May or June or something, but
when you fall out,
it's go out on the big water where it's colder, but that's all right. It'll be fun. So, who do you think will win the college football game tonight, Joe? Last question for me.
Notre Dame. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I watch the offenses and I watch their rhythm, and they're just They're just powerhouse. Boom, boom. They're moving. They're a machine. I just think Ohio State. The Big Ten's usually a big contender, but I've watched Notre Dame play several games, and I'm like, they look pretty slick. They're pretty good. So that's who I think, and it could go any way, obviously, but I'm thinking I'm leaning a little.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. We're in the Big Ten where we live, so
right.
Minnesota.
My Maryland. I'm from Maryland. My Maryland's in the Big Ten. I said they should have stayed in the ACC.
Yep. They're in the Big Ten now.
Yeah, they should have stayed in the ACC. That's my opinion. But
yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
But
all right, I'm done.
There's a few viewers on here. I started sharing this show right off the bat. As soon as we went live, I started sharing it, and there's a few people out there.
Hey, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. We had a little segment earlier about dirty pickup lines, and
knock him out.
I tried one.
I'm like, no.
That's actually my ex-husband. I tried once. It didn't go over so well.
Oh,
he was wearing a white Vikings jersey, and there's blood all over his shirt, and that's not a story I wanted to get into right now. But no, that's a good pickup line. It didn't work on me. But there's a bunch of people out there that are watching because I sent them the link. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and thanks for tuning in, and throw in some questions for Joe. I don't need personal comments from me on my personal messenger. You're watching because it's a show, not because I'm on it. Now, ask some freaking questions.
There you go.
That's right.
You're watching.
Right.
This isn't a question, but what you were talking about earlier, Joe, reminded me. A good buddy of mine, DJ I've known for many, many years, is also an actor, and he played Babe Ruth also in a show.
Wow. It's a lot of fun. Now here's the thing. I another thing came up because for this Japanese tire company, and I think it was probably with Otani, but they needed somebody who looked like Babe Ruth, played Babe Ruth, and I had 5 callbacks.
Oh, baseball is huge over there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the last callback was you had to throw left-handed and bat left-handed. So I practiced for a half an hour. I'm a righty, but I can swing. I can bat left.
Yeah.
I can do that. But
thanks for not saying you can swing both ways.
I don't.
Throwing would have been hard.
I'm a one-way street.
That would have been hard. If it would have been me, I would have thrown. I would have looked like a girl throwing it if I tried to throw left-handed.
Close, because I was like, yeah. Remember Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At first, but then I said, wait a minute, I'm an Oriole fan, and I'm from I watched Baltimore, Scotty McGregor. I watched Steve Carlton growing up, and I saw those, then I started acting like Fernando Valenzuela. I was like, so I was throwing that ball. So I finally got a good lefty going, but I didn't have a lefty glove. So they went with the other person. They didn't tell me why. They just said, we always say, oh, we're going in another direction, which means they picked the other person.
Yeah.
And it would have been, I think, my opinion is it would have been on with Otani. And that would have been cool because the pay was like $3,000. I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
So we do have a viewer question.
U of M, no.
I'm guessing he is noticing your background and wants to know if you went to the University of Minnesota.
Minnesota, no. No, not even. I visited the University of Maryland once.
W.
No,
that's a W.
Yeah,
that's a W.
This is the
That's
Commander.
a W. That's the Washington, the old Redskins, the Foreskins.
But if you turn the W upside down, then it looks like an M.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hamburger U.
Oh wait, no, he meant McDonald's. University
I'm sorry.
Has its own university. Never mind.
He's
I
living
read the
in
question wrong.
I was one step away from. It's called Hamburger University. It's in Oak Brook, Illinois. I was one
I know
step
what it
away.
is. Yep.
And my
His sister actually went there, I think.
because I was on my way, and the guy I trained was engaged to the boss's youngest daughter. True story. Everybody can deny it, but this happened. And he's like, "Well, I think we're going to let him go ahead and blah." It was like, screw it. And then I was like, "You know what?" And that's when I started substitute teaching and coaching basketball in the local area, and that's what got me into wanting to be a full-time teacher. I was like, you know what? Because when the door shuts, it's like, in your career, when that door just slams shut 3 times, it's like, you know what? I'm not supposed to be here. I need to find something else. And teaching. Yeah. And the reason why I went into teaching is because my cashiers couldn't count change. I was like, really? It's 13 cents. It's like I was sick. It's like there's 12 patties on the
best of all worlds going on.
Yeah, I had it rolling, and then I started substitute teaching. What's funny is some of those kids that were in my classes I was substituting worked at McDonald's, and they would talk smack in class. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And they'd come to work, and I'd have them a toothbrush and a bucket of bleach water and have them scrub the toilets and the trash and the baseboards. I was like, okay, we'll see. Yeah, get smart again.
Good one.
Now you get in trouble for that, but yeah, back then, it was the 90s, whatever. And there were no cameras.
Yeah, right.
See, it doesn't, and doesn't that age our generations here? Like, how much messed up stuff did we do back in the day? That if there was camera footage of it, or we were stupid enough at the time to record it, we would not be where we are right now.
With all the stuff that's happened,
this generation's just.
Everything that's happened to me in my life, I wouldn't change anything. The plane crash, the wrecks, the fun, the whatever. Yeah. The only thing I would have changed, and I've said this forever, is I would have taken more pictures. Because I didn't take pictures of hardly anything.
No.
Yeah, I have learned something from everything.
No pictures. No, sir.
But yeah, no proof. No proof.
If you saw somebody with a camera, you knocked it out of their hand and said, put it away.
No proof. Let me learn my lesson on my own.
No, I would have had some pretty cool
world
pictures.
Remind me of it.
Yeah, we went sledding off the roof one night in '84 in the middle of a blizzard. Well, my dad works in Maryland. He worked for the Department of Defense Civilian Force. And every time there was something that was on, a water main break, a snowstorm, ice storm, they called him and his crew first to go clean up. And sometimes he'd be gone like 24, 48 hours. Well, he was gone for 24 hours and my mom fell asleep. And me and my brothers went up on the roof and slid off the roof. And we only got caught because we went through 3 sets of clothes and stuff. And we didn't have dryers then, so they were hanging up in the vents were blowing, and of course, Mom wakes up and it's like, oh, and then of course my sister's like, because my nickname is JoJo and the boys were on the roof, and then I get a whooping and I'm grounded for a week, and yeah, I was like, that's why we don't take you anywhere.
And then you turn out to be a math teacher. Wow.
You're why we can't have nice things.
Who knew? I became a math teacher by accident. I was actually I went back to be a history teacher, government, and because I like telling stories, and reading history and Constitution and government and all that. And then I taught that for a year at a private middle school. And then that next year, the math teacher, him and his wife, they moved, and his family moved to Belgium. And they're like, we need a math and science teacher. And I was like, okay. And then. Yeah, then that's how I got into the math and science, and then, and I've been doing it ever since. So, yeah, and now I tutor on the side and tutor on Zoom and go to people's houses and tutor in class and all that stuff. So every day is a nonstop party. Except Saturday, I kind of relax a little bit. So
we just got a couple. I just noticed someone. I'm paying attention to the viewer comments here, and we just got a couple new viewers. Hi, sweetie. And then we've got Darren Foss, who says, "What happens when a football player goes blind? He becomes a referee."
Yeah. And he referees the Chiefs games.
No, he referees the Vikings game. The Chiefs refs are already fixed. The Chiefs refs are already fixed. The blind
Yeah,
ones referee the Minnesota Vikings games.
Yeah, and the Steeler games.
Oh, yeah,
We
I'm
all
gonna say
got them
that.
referees, pal.
Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan. I understand.
Oh, you're a Ravens
Oh.
fan. I'm done with the interview. I'm out of
All
here.
right.
See what happened to the Ravens yesterday? They flipped on the terrible towel 2 weeks ago. That's
You'll get
what
over
happened
it.
to the Ravens. I got proof of it. They were
Well, all I
dancing
know
on
is
the terrible
the
towel. That's
NFC
what
North
happened
was
to them.
supposed to be the biggest, baddest conference in the NFL, and they freaking were the first to be done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
between the
it's-
top 3 teams, between the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers, I
Right.
mean, we were killing. I mean, the Vikings only lost, 2 or 3 games, and they were the
3
number
games,
5 seed?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's crazy.
based on
But then they
not
all
based,
got their ass handed to them.
Yeah. Not based on record, based on where they landed in the division, and because somebody else wins the division with like the
With
Eagles.
an 8-7 record.
Oh yeah, was that
Or
Rams?
whatever. Yeah. But
All
it's
right,
all right.
you know what? Joe, you are on this show for a reason.
Yes, talk to me.
I want to know what the greatest highlight of your career is. Like, what is it that makes you feel the most successful? That makes you feel like this is it. This is what I do. This is what I do the best, and this is how I'm going to be remembered.
I think this movement into radio is where I'm seeing, because I'm on WPAT 930 a.m. every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. in New York City.
Say that again.
I'm with WPAT on 930am.com every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. And I've been doing that for a year and a half, and combine that with the acting and combine that with the education, it's all starting to slowly gel together. And I said, there's something bigger coming. I'm not meant to retire. I'm not going to retire there. I actually did, whether you like it or not, I don't care. I actually did apply to be on Elon Musk and Ramaswamy's team to get rid of all the expense and the waste out of government. Because I'm like,
nice.
I'll come in with a scalpel and start slicing.
Nice.
And I sent my resume in. I pled my case. I'm still waiting. We'll see. But I think long term, there's a radio thing happening because there's a big platform. There's all these platforms getting connected with all you guys, and just getting connected with other people. I know Christina Love was on here earlier. I don't know if she's
Yes, she's awesome. Isn't she awesome?
Yeah, we work together on podcast. Just being connected with more and more people, and then on the acting, connect that in with the acting side and the education side. It's kind of like all 3 worlds together have given me some gravitas that I didn't ask for, didn't push for. It's just people are like, hey, what's your opinion? You really want to know? I mean, I'm just the guy who was trying to be quiet and teach math. And now it's like, hey, what's your opinion on this? Oh,
Like,
okay.
people actually care about what I say? What?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Because I show up, I get into people's lives. I said that when I became a high school math teacher, I became the best trash talker. I never learned to talk so much trash since I started teaching high school. And those roast battles that they have online, and you see them all the time. That's a daily or weekly occurrence. Kids talk smack. I flip it right back at them. I'm like, don't mess with me. You don't mess with a crazy old white man. Don't do that.
That's like messing with a crazy old white man is like messing with a crazy old black mama.
Yeah. Because I said it's like that. What was that movie? El Torino.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Not that
yes.
bad. Not that
Get
bad.
off my lawn.
Similar.
Yep, that's it.
A lot of similarities there. Gran Torino. There it is. Gran Torino.
Thank you, Ken.
Yep. Thank you, Gran Torino. I own it, but I haven't watched it in like 5 years. So
I haven't watched it in a while either, but yes.
But yeah, Gran Torino. I've gone back and started watching old Clint Eastwood movies, trying to get that acting stuff back on, and I put it on my radio show. So I think that long term, this is all gelling together for something huge, and that's where it's gonna land. I don't know what it looks like. I just know that I keep connecting with more and more people, and as we network up and more people are networking, it's like, hey, do you know so and so? Hey, did you talk to so and so? Yeah, and I think that's where it's going. And next month, I'm filming. Talking about a film, I'm filming where I can't say what it is just yet, but I play a transportation safety board investigator, and I think we're actually getting on a real helicopter and taking a flight. So that's part of my character. So,
that's fun.
And then this morning I auditioned to be a hitman. Okay, sure.
You can pull it off. I'm sure.
I like it. No, I like it. Well, we'll see if I get picked. I won't know until this week, but
yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to get in there and people let you play roles, and you're like, they're like, hey, what do you want to do? I said, I just want to shoot somebody. Okay, here. But
Joe, I don't want to cut you off and all that, but we do appreciate having you on here on this episode of Renegade Radio. I was very honored to have you as a guest, and I hope you continue to do the interview stuff, and you'll find that the more that you do, the more fun you have, because you just never know who you're going to interview. You just have no idea. It's just it's a mystery sometimes.
No, Tuesday, January 28th.
Back on again.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. Be fun. Tuesday, January 28th.
Tell us about the Hitman thing.
Oh yeah. When it's done, I'll let you know.
I hope Elon gets a hold of you.
I hope so too.
Yeah. What were you saying about the 28th?
No, January 28th. It's 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern time on WPAT930am.com. I'm not saying who I'm interviewing, but I'm going to advertise it like the day before. It's going to be one of my biggest ones. So Frankie's pretty big. Frankie was a big one. Frankie elevated my game. So
yeah, right. Whatever.
That's not what she said. What's the date again?
Me too. Me too.
What's the date again?
January 28th. Next Tuesday.
28th.
6 p.m. WPAT.
And I've got a viewer comment. Well, it's a joke actually. Darren Foss says, "What did they drink on the Titanic?"
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sanka.
If you ever decide that you want to come on a Monday night and you'll be an honorary crew member like what Christina did, because we had her on last week and she joined us for the whole episode. So you're more than welcome to do that, and whatever you just let me know ahead of time when you want to do that.
Absolutely.
We'll make it so. But I'm really happy that this worked out, and much success to you in the future, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Pleasure being here. No problem.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much going to do it for tonight's episode of Renegade Radio for episode number 3.
Yeah.
Next
Love
week
y'all like family. Go away.
We'll be joined by Stuart Franklin from Teen Wolf 2, and he has a new movie that's he's going to be producing or telling us about. So stay tuned for that. Sure. And other than that, that's Frankie Slauson for Renegade Radio. We'll see you next week.
Hit my music.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
See you guys.
fade. You kept me still. Took a place against my will. And still, this late land, you knew we're just ahead. And still